There we go. I had to reset my mic because for some reason it turned off. Alright. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. We are back after 1 week off from stream last week. How's everybody doing? First in the house, as always, on the landscape side of things, we have Craig Lilly. But over on the YouTube vertical short side of things, we got Stang 2007. What's up, y'all? We also have in the house Coalition Gaming Chris. We got KL130 as always, Giant Robots, Hazard Me, Techie Tech, what's up, what's up, Soul Price, hello. We got XX Broku XX. Will we get this LAN video in January? Hopefully, this LAN video for the LAN this coming weekend, so it's happening kind of near the end of September. Hopefully, it will come out around Christmas time. Perfect for like the long Christmas holiday break that most people get, right? So people can binge watch it. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm trying to like not take so long to edit the LAN party videos, but it's just one of those things that no matter what, it's an enormous task that yeah, it just takes me a while. So let's see who else we got over on the short side of things. We got Chris over here as well. We got Charlie Q. What's up? What's up? We got Cobra Katie who asks, I want to be mobile gaming and don't want to pay a ton. Steam Deck or budget gaming laptop? That's a tough one for me. I think I'm just not a handheld person. Both Steam Decks and laptops have their own pros and cons. The Steam Deck is kind of like the limited resolution, plus not everything is already built in, right? Like when I'm using a laptop, I am in mobile computing. I am not only gaming. I am also browsing the web, doing emails, stuff. So having a keyboard built in with a touchpad so that I don't have to carry around an extra mouse, being able to do that in a laptop is very convenient. With the Steam Deck, if you want to have a keyboard and a mouse, you have to like have all these external things with you. But if you want a game, a Steam Deck, because the controller is already built in, it's more convenient. So it depends on if you're mobile gaming only. I mean, the Steam Deck might be the choice for you, though. I think the issue with Steam Decks and handhelds in general is you want for a budget gaming laptop. I still feel like the performance of a budget gaming laptop that you can get used for what, $400 or $500 would still be noticeably more powerful than a Steam Deck. Though one thing about Steam Deck versus laptop is I think the Steam Deck, I guess I don't know how much those go for used. Let me check eBay. Like, what does the used Steam Deck cost? Because laptops, if you're looking for any resale value compared to desktops, components and towers, laptops just plummet in value so fast. But let me see Steam Deck. What a used Steam Deck would cost. I can go over to the browser scene. So let's take a look at this. Steam Deck, if I wanted to buy one now, and obviously there's a bunch of models and stuff like that, but the cheapest Steam Deck is around $250. Oh no, modified Steam Deck LCD is extra $270. So after tax, probably closer to $300 is looking like the more common price. It'd be pretty tough to get a decent gaming laptop for $300. You're gonna be going back quite a bit of generations worth of parts. It's a tough toss-up, man. Or I guess Katie, not man, but you know what I mean. Let's see, who else do we have? Vanna Meek, long time. What's up, Vanna? Happy to catch the stream. Happy to have you here. We are here every week, so if you ever want to just chill on a Wednesday night and be surrounded by, in the digital world, other tech nerds and PC gaming nerds, feel free to stop by. We're always here. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Blustery? What's up, Robert? Fix it. Yo, I want my certificate of authenticity for the Painted White GPU Club. Actually, let me bring up that picture that you posted. Extra Paint painted the office PC. So this is Robert Fix It on the Discord server, which if you guys didn't know, Discord server link in the description. We have a pretty small, tight-knit community here. Not a super crazy, busy, active Discord server, but this is where you can generally catch me when it's not like, you know, on the weekly stream or like the comment section of the latest video. But where's the picture of the graphics card that you painted? Here it is. That is a beautiful card. RX 570 Sapphire. Great job on the painting. Let me see if I can... Yeah, we can get up real close in detail with it. You can see there are some of the texture from the old backplate, but I mean, this looks pretty clean. Looks like some bunching up, or what's it called, splotchy at some of these intersections of like the fan blade and the hub, which is pretty normal. But yeah, you did a great job. What's up, Damien? It is going real good, real well. How do you say it? It's going good. Quick update, because you know, there's the LAN party this coming weekend. My foot is not fully healed yet, but I'm to the point where I'm walking again. I can't put a lot of weight on my one foot, so I actually got... Have y'all heard of this thing? This is the Exogen ultrasound bone healing system, which my what is the foot doctor again? What is my... I always get... Is it podiatrist? Yes, I believe it's my podiatrist. Yes. My podiatrist prescribed. And it is essentially this medical device which you put on your foot with some ultrasound gel. Kind of like, you know, when you're going in for a pregnancy test. But this thing, you essentially put it on your whatever part of the bone that needs to be healed. For me, it's going to be the foot. And you do it once a night for however long. And it sends like ultrasound waves through it to stimulate growth and healing. So, I mean, it's been 3 months since this whole thing started with my foot. So, it's still taking a really long time to heal. So this was their next best course of treatment and action. On looking into this, apparently this stuff has been around for like decades, so it is a proven technology. Whether or not it'll work for me, we'll see. But at this point, I'm willing to try quite a bit of stuff to get myself back to back to normal, to be able to walk without discomfort. So, during the LAN party, I will be walking around the house and stuff like that, but potentially, hopefully the footage isn't going to be super shaky due to that, because I'm still walking with a limp. But yeah, that is with regards to the foot thing. It's still ongoing, not fully healed yet, but at least I'm walking again. That's the biggest thing for me, because having a crutch when you're trying to like just do the most basic things like go up and down stairs or to take a dump or take a shower, it's a pain. But I'm on my foot without a crutch, and then now I'm trying to heal back up to as close to issues. What up, Candelario? Arflet, from the short side of things, with the tech drama, tech news. This week tech review, Dreo ChefMaker combines air fryer, steam, and AI, and even has a sous vide. Okay, we gotta actually check this out, because everybody's obsessed with air fryers these days. We even have one, but Dreo ChefMaker air fryer, steam, AI combi fryer. Is it this thing? The most professional air fryer for making Michelin starred meals. ChefMaker. Is this the right thing? Arflet? ChefMaker combi fryer. Yeah, I mean, this is the only thing that's coming up. Unless there's something newer. Let me see news. It has a sous vide mode to make delightful foods. I hardly endorse it and give it 5 out of 5 stars. How much is this thing though? Because Chef, let's see. How much does this thing cost? ChefMaker. Oh, that's not bad. $219 to $359. That is it. Okay, this thing is $219. Oh wait, with auto applied code, so it's on sale. Oh, okay. I don't even remember how much. How much is the Ninja Dual Air Fryer? So my wife and I bought the Ninja Dual Air Fryer, which is like one of these models. Okay, so it looks like they're about $150. I hope we didn't spend $250 on it. We probably spent around $150 at Costco whenever it was there. But something like this with even more functions for $219, that's actually not bad. The only issue is, at this point, our air fryer still works just fine. So getting one of these is just another appliance. This is something that I would consider if our air fryer died and we wanted another one, because we use our air fryer a lot. So I think air fryers, for the most part, from what I've heard from like everybody who's owned an air fryer, like they usually don't last a really long time. Like the first one we had lasted like 4 or 5 years, which was a decent amount of time because that one was like an $80 model or something like really cheap. But then we wanted the dual air fryer so that we could do like raw meats as well as not raw stuff at the same time, next to each other. But yeah, this thing actually sounds good. Sous vide. I actually like sous vide. Well, how do you sous vide with this thing? Is it real? Is it even a real sous vide, like with water? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it would just be like a low temp cook, chef mode, probe cook. But either way, I mean, yeah, I'd be down to get something like this. Interesting, interesting. I replaced my 5-year-old Philips TurboStar air fryer. Yeah, that would be something that I would probably do if ours died. But ours is still working really well. Plus, having the dual chamber, it's a lot of volume compared to like a single air fryer. And this one looks like, what is the... I don't even know what our volume is. Oh, Guga even... what's it called? Reviewed this thing. What are the specs? Overview. Okay. It does everything. They had a Kickstarter. Okay. Top Kitchen Gadget 2023. So this thing looks pretty cool. What is the 6 quart? Okay. And that's actually a decent size. Thanks for bringing this up. I will definitely take a... or at least keep it in the back of my mind for when we do need to upgrade. Sous vide is mandatory with your catering gig. Yeah, I am either, what's it called? Reverse searing or sous videing. I'm a big fan of. Especially, remember, I'm not sure if you guys remember in the LAN Party stories, what was it, a couple of years ago, where I got all those dang mosquito bites from freaking trying to get the chicken up to temperature into the night when I was grilling. But yeah, if we grill like the types of meats like chicken and pork and steak now that need to get up to a certain temperature in the future, if we're at my place, I'm gonna either sous vide or reverse sear them all, because I cannot be sitting there at the grill trying to get, you know, the chicken up to the safe temps while also burning the crap out of the outside. I'm just gonna do like low oven cook, get everything up to the right temperature, and then finishing it with a nice sear. Because standing outside, like, especially with my grill's a cheap one, so it doesn't have like super crazy good like even, you know, cook to it. So yeah, I think sous videing or something similar is definitely the play, especially when you're cooking in bulk too, because you want all the food to come out at a relatively same amount of time. So when I was doing it, some chicken were getting cooked like done like 20 to 30 minutes before the other one. So just getting everything up to temp and then searing it in like 5-10 minutes, that would be the play. If you religiously make bacon in an air fryer, yeah, they don't last long, lol. I don't make bacon in an air fryer just because because the way that most air fryers work is they have the coil up at the top as well as a fan. And with bacon, unless you can figure out some way to cover it, but then you're messing with the airflow. Yeah, with bacon, you get too much of a splattery mess, and then the grease is gonna get up onto the coil and all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Thoughts of Space Marine 2? Asked Draxler M. I have not played Space Marines 2. I played Space Marines 1 back in the, like, how old is Space Marine 1? The original one came out in 2011. Yeah, so that was right when I was graduating college. I played that. That was fun. 2 looks like very similar gameplay, kind of like, you know, hordes of enemies. You control this bulky, like, Gears of War type character, and, you know, using, like, chainsaws and blades and stuff like that. I'm interested in getting it, but dude, there's too many games that I need to grab, and every time I grab a game, I also have to be mindful of also adding it to my benchmarking suite for content. So, like, the next game, like, I think the next game I'm gonna buy is gonna be Black Myth Wukong, to be honest. It is a very demanding game, probably gonna be one of the more demanding ones of my entire benchmarking suite. So, like, I have to be very mindful. I can't just buy every single game out there. I wish a lot of these games had at least demos. Black Myth has a demo, but obviously it's not going to be the same as in-game playing. But yeah, I think Black Myth, that style of gameplay, you know, where it's very quick-paced action combat, I wouldn't say Souls-like, but more like God of War, Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden type. I'm pretty excited. Plus, it's a completely new IP, right? Like, Warhammer 40k, it's been around for a while, and like the whole Black Myth thing, I don't know the full mythology behind like the Monkey King and stuff, so that game is probably at the top of my list to get. Plus, plenty of people are selling the keys for cheaper, because when you buy an NVIDIA RTX like current gen card, you get the promo game, so a lot of people are selling it for much lower than like $60. I think people sell it for $40-ish, so it is cheaper too, so that is more enticing. But I mean, I would be interested in playing Space Marine 2, but it's not at the top of my list for the next games to get. How much would you pay for an X99 board, 5960X? 32 gigs, GTX 980. Oh, we're talking about some older hardware here. What is the 5960X? Let me look at. Just because off the top of my head, I have no idea what the. Oh my god! See, with these, can we find some comparison videos? Okay, let's see this.
Released over 8.
We got Techia City Brian in the house here. So let's take a look at this. So 5960X versus a 5800X3D. So this, I just want to look at it in terms of the comparison. So yeah, we're talking about a 2014 processor, but you know, a high-end one. So you're coming in, and a 5800X3D is still a very, very capable processor. So it's not like I'm expecting it to beat it. I'm just looking at relative to the performance, what are you getting, right? So it's looking like you're coming in, depending on the game. Yeah, on high presets, it's not going to make a difference because your graphics card is likely going to be bottlenecked, even though he is testing with the 4090. But like in the CPU bound games, what are we looking at? So the CPU bound stuff would be low, like testing at 1080p low presets. So yeah, you're coming in about a little bit, like around half the performance. Here's like 60%, 60 to 50%. So comparing that to a 5800X3D, which is going for, you can get those. Those are still, no way they're actually worth $400, because it's one of those things where they're phased out. So you can get a 5800X for $140, which kind of, even though it's not a, yeah, and then a 5700X3D for $209. Okay, so how much would I pay for the board? So this is a complete built system with a GTX 980. You're not going to be able to upgrade. So I'm just thinking of the gaming performance capabilities. I mean, we're talking in the ballpark, but this is a complete build with the 1TB SSD. So, and a 750 watt power supply. Don't know what the power supply is, but those have inherent value, right? So something like this, I mean, like, we're talking anywhere from the $300 to $400 price range. It's kind of hard to give a pinpoint price, but I'm thinking no more than 400 for sure. But anything under 300, because you can still game decently on these specs. The 5960X and the GTX 980, despite being that old, you could still play all the esports titles you want, and then like modern games at low to medium settings, depending on the title, at 1080p. So just that alone makes it worth in the ballpark of 300 to 400. But kind of hard without seeing, you know, like the exact details, what the whole build looks like, knowing what that power supply is, etc. Hey, what's up, J-Man? You are new. Welcome to the stream. Just in case you were wondering, because most new people wonder, these streams are live. This is not pre-recorded. But yeah, is the R7 3700X still worth buying used? I think it is. What is the price of those though? Let's take a look. Ryzen 3700X. Honestly, guys, even first gen Ryzen, in my opinion, is worth buying if it is cheap enough, right? Not the lowest price. Yeah, I would still be okay with putting together systems and buying Ryzen 7 1700s and 1700Xs if they were priced appropriately, right? Like, and those would be about like 30 to 40 bucks. The 3700X, only the cooling fan. Okay, cool. Parts only, broken. So I'm guessing the 3700X is gonna be around like the $90 price point. Oh, it's even cheaper. 3700X, you can buy them. It's gonna come from China, so it might take a bit on the shipping. I think for what? Wait, this isn't right. See, it says 64 to 235, but it's gonna be a pull down menu. And the 3700X, okay, before even seeing the prices, yeah, I'm thinking like 80 to 90 bucks. 97, so I wasn't too far off. I don't think we're gonna be able to find parts only, broken, 3700X. Oh, this one's 70 bucks or best offer. Is this legit? It looks like it. Used 37. Yeah, so for 70 bucks, I don't think this is bad value at all. It would be better to go on AliExpress and just buy a Ryzen 5 5600. Even though the core count is less and thread count is less, your single core performance, IPC, and just gaming performance in general would be better. But if you're anti AliExpress, you're comparing the $70 3700X to a $120 5600 on like Amazon or something. So it depends, right? I would say if you're okay with AliExpress, get it from there, the 5600 for 80 bucks ish. But if you can't, this isn't horrible value. It's not the best value, but I don't think it's not like there's 3700X is to the point where it's so old that I wouldn't even recommend it at all, right? Staying 2007 says, I got a 1600X for $10 in my local market. Yeah, see? So that's crazy value. Like, when people say, is it still worth buying something? At the right price, pretty much every piece of hardware is worth buying. You just have to basically look at what the limitations of it is, if it's like pretty old, and just look at the situation you need it for, right? If I'm building like a $200 gaming PC, yeah, a $10 1600X is a no-brainer. That's a phenomenal value. But if I've got like a bigger budget, like $600, then okay, even though a $10 1600X is pretty crazy, I would not put that in like a $600 build. So you just have to just know what parts are appropriate for your budget range. So yeah. $5700X3D is $120 on AliExpress. It's the GOAT right now. Let's bring it up. And 700X3D. And the prices are going to be different depending on what coupons you can get. Plus, if you have, I'm pretty sure if you have an intro deal, you could get it for that 120 like you're quoting. It looks like I'm only able to find 135 free shipping, which isn't bad. But yeah, usually if you just make a new email, sign up with a new email, they'll give you some introductory deal. Probably get this down even more. But yeah, this is also great value right here too. I built my PC with all used parts, currently having a 2700X, wanting to upgrade. If you want it, if you want to upgrade, do your BIOS update, and then either grab something like this, 3700, or not 37, I'm mixing it now, 5700 X3D or Ryzen 5600. These two are probably, yeah, see, 72 bucks. Look at this. You can slot that right in to the same motherboard that you're using your 2700X in, and you're good to go. 980 Ti can still game with FSR. A lot of the older cards can game with FSR still, yeah. Definitely. Oh, that was in response to, I have an EVGA 980 Ti laying around. Should I sell it or keep it? EVGA one, huh? It depends. So I get this question a lot from people when they upgrade or they just have spare parts laying around. The 980 Ti, it's at the point now where I feel like it's kind of hit its price floor. The 980 Ti, because even though it's pretty old, because it was such a high-end card for its generation, it will, I mean, for years to come, even beyond 2024, 980 Ti is still going to be something that can play Valorant, that can play League of Legends, and that can play other Rocket League esports titles, and even some introductory, like, low settings, modern titles. It could play Halo Infinite fine, I'm sure. Yeah, so it's always going to be a capable card. It's not going to change too drastically. Like right now, what's the 980 Ti go for? Like 50, 60 bucks maybe, right? Okay, in a few years, it's going to be down to 40 bucks. So you take a $20 depreciation. Are you strapped for cash right now? Because if that's the case, then yeah, sure, feel free to sell it. But if you want a graphics card on hand just in case your main one fails and you don't want to be out of using your computer, or if you want to potentially build a budget system to sell or to, you know, have around the house or to do whatever with, then keep it. I'm a person who, for what I do on YouTube, I try to keep one of every card just because if I need it for testing purposes for whatever reason, then I have it on hand. But yeah, it depends. Are you strapped for cash? Because it's not like the 980 Ti is worth that much anyways. What, you know, would you rather have that like 50, 60 bucks in your pocket or have a backup? The 1070 has taken its place in the used market. Yeah, the 980 Ti and 1070 are like the neck and neck cards. And that's usually how it works. Like the 80 series or 80 Ti from previous generation competes with current generation's 70 series. But if you already have the 980 Ti, you could go through the hassle of trying to sell it and then getting a 1070. But yeah, I wouldn't say to go out and buy a 980 Ti at this point, because with older hardware, they're as much as I promote and use older hardware and stuff like that in my content, there is a risk of any hardware, but in particular motherboards and graphics cards, because there's just so many capacitors and stuff on them, there is the possibility of whatever random cap just, you know, reaching its end of life and then it becoming unusable. Most people don't know how to do micro soldering and, you know, board level repair. So when something as simple as, I can't even do that stuff, right? I can't, like, diagnosing all that stuff, that is not easy. You can't just, like, do that and learn it overnight. You know, motherboards and graphics cards, they can basically be rendered dead just because of one bad capacitor. So you just have to keep in mind that as you go older in components, right? That's why if you can pick a modern component or a modern part that is the equivalent performance level than something older, not only is the driver support the important issue that you should consider, but also just the longevity of it. Something that is older, that has had more hours put into it, it's just bound to die eventually. Electronics don't last forever. Realism Omega says, I have a 5800 X3D I bought 2 years ago and it's serving me great. Yeah, anybody who invested in the 5800 X3D, that CPU is going to last a long time. I'm very curious how... So, AMD is pushing out AM4 CPUs still, but they're not pushing out anything like high-end. Like when they came out with like the 5800... not 5800, but 5600 X3D and stuff like that. They targeted like the mid to upper mid like performance level. I'm curious if for the AM4 platform they're gonna push anything at the top of the tier instead of releasing stuff that's kind of like below the Ryzen 9 SKUs. But yeah, we'll have to see. But I think AM4 is still very like usable now. If you don't have that much money, you can still invest in an AM4 platform and you've still got plenty of potential. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, think of the longevity and upgrade path, but dude, when people are working with $400, $500, $600, AM4 I think is still viable in those price ranges. Raymond Mai said, would be cool if you could live stream the LAN party. Man, is this the LAN party that we live stream? I don't know. I was counting because as we prepare for the LAN weekend, you can see I'm starting to like clean up. I can show you guys what downstairs looks like right now. But speaking of LAN party, so the live stream of the LAN party, I've been juggling that idea and people have mentioned it for years now. And the only thing is that when you live stream, when you have like that many people, it's just like what could happen, right? I'm not saying that we ever do anything super bad. I mean, people like smoke and drink and stuff like that, which I don't know if YouTube would demonetize or give me a strike on if that got somehow, you know, went on the camera. But I think live streaming it would be more difficult because there are so many other people there that while they are consenting to me recording and stuff like that, with live stream it's a little bit different because you might accidentally slip up and say something personal, right? Like with regards to your personal life, you might accidentally dox yourself, etc. So it's really risky to just have an open live stream with like 12 to 14 people in the room where you're just talking about whatever and you might say something personal or say something inappropriate for stream and stuff like that. Whereas with the when I record, like if someone accidentally talks about their address or talks about, you know, something they're going through that's personal, I could cut that out easily. But yeah, we'll see. I'll bring it up to the gang. It might not be for this this one, but if we have like a dedicated stream hour where everybody is on alert about like not revealing stuff they don't want out there, then we could do it. But I think that would be cool to have live interaction. It would be fun. It's just you have to think of the logistics and like plan for the worst case scenario of things going wrong. I already have my personal information gotten leaked out there. I don't want to wish that upon any of my best friends. So yeah. The 3090 for the Win 3 is for 400. Really? Has the 3090 dropped that much in price? We'll get back to talk about LAN in a second, but I thought it was the 3080 was closer to 400 recently, but let's take a look. And I'm talking about eBay prices because I'm not talking about your one lucky good deal. We're talking about what most people can find and get it for. But let's take a look at what 3090s are going for. Has it dropped to 30? Yeah, so here's a 3080 for 400. Let's see what we first. What is this one? Is this a water block? Huh, okay. What? A water block for 400 bucks? Are people crazy? 3090 Founders Edition parts only is broken. Okay. Broken. 30. Okay, the prices on here are getting worse. Cheapest 3090, but this is brand new that I can find. Brand new, seriously? This is with 0%. I don't know if I would trust that. I don't think 3090s are regularly going for $400. That seems a little too cheap. Closer to 450 or 500 maybe, but I mean, let's look at sold listings on eBay. But I mean, for under 400 bucks, I think a 3080 is still a pretty decent choice. It's new enough where you don't have to worry about it potentially, you know, dying on you soon. Sold items. Actually, where is it? Completed listings. Where are you? Sold items. Here we go. So RTX 3090. Okay, that's just the cooler. Parts only. Brand new scam. Dude, someone bought this for $228 from this seller. This is clearly a scam. Also a scam. Oh my god. All these people seriously getting scammed on eBay right now. Oh my gosh. Look at all these people buying from these underpriced items for $0 or 0%, you know, reputation sellers. Okay, can we look at, it's because I have sorted by, let's do most recent. Ended recently. They did a best offer. So here's one for $550 that sold, but this is a 3090 Ti. Here's a 3090 normal Gaming Trio X, sold for $680. Here's a 3090 Ti for $550. Dude, these 550 3090 Ti's, they're looking like a scam. First of all, this is a generic image. This person has 0 sales, and I don't think 550 is the normal going price for a 3090 Ti when a normal 3090 sold for $680. Here's a 4090. Here's a 3090 water cooled. Ugh. Someone bought a water cooled one, but it's just like, most people don't have custom loops. So here's a 3090 Strix for $650. So yeah, Realism Omega. Where did you see this $400 for the win 3090? Oh, because that sounds like a scam. Honestly, it's either a scam or a very lucky once in a while deal that I would not say 3090s are now $400. Like, I would not put an umbrella price on it at 400 because very clearly people as late or as of today, September 18, are buying $800 3090s. I'm not saying it's worth 800 bucks given that 3080s are going for around like 350 or 400, but still, live stream the pizza debate. That always cracks me up. That would be fun. We would have to be careful not to show any addresses because it's going to be my house. It's going to be delivered to, billing information, etc. So yeah. Danny, I streamed my last recent big one. It was neat. The OBSBot Air camera. OBS Bot's actually going to send me one of their cameras. I forgot which one it is. But they're going to be sending it, and I'm going to be live unboxing and testing it on one of the future streams. So, but you live streamed over the LAN trick. I used was this Discord was active only during games. Law. I mean, I just have a big open mic in the room, so it picks up on everything. Plus, if we were to stream it, Melissa would have to know so that she doesn't walk in on the camera. But yeah. Do you do 3D printing? I have a 3D printer. I printed a handful of stuff with it, but honestly, I'm a noob when it comes to 3D printing. Like, I have an Ender Pro 3 or 5, one of the two. It is, and my buddy Jason Whitmer, he got a Bamboo, and from what it sounds like, the Bamboo, even though it's more of a premium price, it is so much more hassle-free and just hands-off. Like, I gotta do the bed leveling thing, and every time I try to use my 3D printer, the nozzle never knows the right distance away from the print bed. So I have scratched it, I have messed up nozzle heads and stuff like that, and I've watched videos, I've read instructions. For some reason, for the Ender Pro 5 or 3 or whichever model I have, it does not want to save my preset settings every time I, you know, power it down. Like, it just doesn't know. I have to reset it up every time I use it, which is just a hassle. It makes me not want to use it. Makes me want to sell it and get a Bamboo. But yeah. Oh yeah, see, even Chris can confirm. Bamboo is so much more hassle-free. If you're like a 3D printing nerd and do it like day in and day out, I'm sure the Ender is like just fine. But for someone like me who doesn't need to 3D print a bunch, it's just such a pain because I don't use it often enough to remember everything to like do it quick. And this is like, it's very similar to PCs, right? Where I feel like a lot of people, they look at the PC building hobby and they're like, oh, building a PC is like Legos. It's so easy. Yeah, it's easy for us nerds who are like, live this stuff day in and day out. But you take a person who only builds their PC once every 4 or 5 years, or someone who is new to the hobby, you cannot just expect them to be able to put, like, first of all, source parts for a computer, make sure it's all compatible, and then build it, install Windows, get it up and running with zero troubleshooting, zero bugs, zero issues in a short amount of time. Like, it just annoys me to no end that every time I go on Reddit or Twitter or social media, people always talk about PC building like it's the easiest thing in the world, when I have walked many people through building a PC that are complete noobs, and it takes a long time. Like, they don't understand from the like shoes of a newbie or a beginner how difficult or what's it called? Now, how difficult and frustrating some things can be. So, anytime someone says PC building super easy, you should just do it yourself, never buy a pre-built. It should only take a couple of hours, and if you don't do it, then you're somehow inferior. I just look at those people as complete idiots, because they clearly have not walked through, held someone's hand through building a PC. We got Tech Always in the house. Tech Always Charles. How's land prep going? It's going well. What's up, Charles? Enders are a pain in the butt. Are they? I mean, to me, they are as a complete noob, but every time you go on to Reddit or you look up YouTube videos on, and I think it's the budget aspect of it, right? When you look up recommended 3D printers, the Ender series always gets recommended, and that's why I ended up with one. But I think price is one of the big selling points too. But it's funny because now that I'm talking about it, people that, like, my trusted friends, Chris and like Charles, you guys are chiming in saying they are indeed a pain. So I feel less bad. Like, I don't feel as bad now about the fact that every time I try to set it up and use it, it is a pain. So maybe it's not me completely being a noob. It's a mix of that and them being kind of sucky to deal with in general. I have a friend who has 2 Enders, started with Ender, got a better one later, learned a lot, and is a total pro at it. He is now has a Bamboo. He's my 3D printer. Okay. Maybe I should get a Bamboo. Yeah, because just from hearing Jason talk about it, like when he explained it to me, he said he went in with zero experience, he set it up, and it just works. And when looking back to my personal experience with the Ender, it did not just work. It required quite a bit of tuning, plus the menu navigation is annoying as heck. Like, you can only see like 3 lines or something at a time, or maybe it's more than 3 lines, but navigating through it, getting through everything is just, oh. Yeah, I might sell this Ender, and I might get a Bamboo. Because I would like to 3D print more. It's just, it's such a hassle that it has, like, made me not want to do it. Bamboo as a company is plug and play. That's what I'm going for. Oh, desired spec. Okay. We gotta get a follow-up on this story. Wait, desired spec. You gotta remind me of everything. Basically, got a 1070 Ti for 75 bucks Canadian. So, desired spec bought a graphics card. I forgot which one it was specifically. It was like 1660 Super or Ti or something. And it ended up being dead. And then the person ended up kind of ghosting them and not responding to the messages. even though they said they would give them a refund or a replacement card. So you went swords blazing. What the heck is swords blazing? Are you talking about because Canada, you guys don't have guns? But anyways, no, I actually would like to know the details of the story more, because I think going to somebody's house because of a bad Facebook / OfferUp transaction, I think that's pretty kind of like gutsy, because you don't know what could happen. Especially in the US, man. If they have a gun and they try to like do some, what's it called? What is the law that lets you shoot someone who trespasses? Or like, I don't know, that makes you feel threatened. But did you actually go swords blazing, or were you like very calm and, you know, very normal demeanor about it? After that, I met a guy who's chill, and after talking, we settled on the 1070 deal. But you got your money back. Were they trying to like not give you your money back, or trying to make excuses or anything? Let me know. So is Bamboo the Apple for 3D printer? I don't even know if that's the like equivalent comparison, because Android phones out of the box I feel are very simple to use, and like you don't need instructions and stuff like that. Bamboo, what would be like turnkey equivalent? Maybe Bamboo is like buying from a pre-built company, like a really good pre-built company, because literally all you have to do is plug it in, put your name in, and it works. And I say a premium good pre-built PC company, because there are ones that aren't good, where it ships to you either like the graphics card like ripped out of its slot because it wasn't packaged well, or they don't configure the settings right, or it like crashes and stuff like that. But if you think about pre-built gaming PCs, if you buy from a company that's a little bit more premium, that charges more, but they go through and make sure it just works out of the box. No troubleshooting, no random audio driver messages. You know what I'm saying? Like really works out of the box. Because even when building your own PC, there are plenty of times where you get these random like messages and notifications at the bottom right that's like, oh, you need to update this chipset driver, you need to get this Realtek audio driver. Like you get so many notifications even though the PC still works. Like some of the more premium system integrators, they take care of all that stuff for you. So Castle Doctrine, that's what I was thinking. I was about to say like the Fortress Law, Castle Doctrine, there it is. Yeah. Wouldn't Prusa be the Apple equivalent? Is Prusa the even more expensive one? Is Bamboo like turnkey but it still works just well? Have I ever gotten anything like switches, monitors, peripherals? Not for LAN specifically, but like our port switch that we use, which is I think a 16 port one. I bought that off Amazon. Not many people are selling that large of port switches that are like modern, you know, gigabit at least on Marketplace. It's kind of like a niche item. Peripherals like keyboards and mouse, I have so many just from companies sending them through over the years. So that I don't need. But monitors, like that monitor back there, that's a Dell 4K one. I bought it for, you know, for my benchmarking station, but my buddy Jesse, who flies in for LAN, because nobody's like gonna be carrying a monitor to the airport and stuff like that and checking it in, he uses that one for LAN. So some of the stuff that I have bought over the years do get used for LAN, but I don't buy them specifically for LAN, if you know what I mean. Will there be a pre-LAN party video? There's always a pre-LAN party video. That is a tradition, even though that never gets as many views as the main LAN party. It's for the diehard fans who want to see the day leading up, or days leading up. So I will always be doing that. So yeah. Casey Wall says, hey Noah, I have been dealing with blueprints and fabricating offset smoker. I have my final rendition if you or anyone... Wait, what do you mean? Dealing with blueprints and fabricating offset smokers. You're talking about like for grilling? I have my final rendition. Yeah, feel free to post it and we can check it out in the Discord, the stream suggestions channel. Dino Nuggies for LAN party? Always Dino Nuggies for LAN party. I'm gonna put some Dino Nuggies in the chat. And Tots. Dino Nuggies and Tots. I'm trying to think when the last time we did not do that is. There are LAN parties where we kind of forget to eat them, but I have figured out the like solution for it. The Dino Nuggies and Tots need to just be made sometime between the major meals, right? So like my plan is on Saturday after, well, we probably, breakfast is kind of, everyone kind of do their own thing. Actually, no, since it's at my place, we're probably going to cook breakfast. And then lunch comes quickly after. But between lunch and dinner could be a big gap. So like sometime between lunch and dinner, just cook them. Don't even ask people. Just start cooking them. And then when they're done, say, all right, we got Dino Nuggies and Tots. And people are going to eat them. So it's just like, you just got to get them made and they will be eaten type of things. And that's just what we've forgotten to do in previous LANs. So, are you the LAN host? Yeah, so I am hosting the LAN this time around. We switch off between my house and somebody else's house every other time. But let me show you so far the situation. Oh, Matt, Tech by Matt, you still here? He just messaged me. I have them. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, for sure, Matt. I will talk to you about that after the stream. But thanks for hitting me up. But let me show you guys. Let me turn on the light. What the stream situation is gonna be. I maybe can walk upstairs, but we'll see. Okay, so I am hosting stream this time, and I've been cleaning up. So there's the Ender. All right, let me see. What Ender is this? It just says Ender on it, so where's it? Ender? Okay, so I do have the Ender 5 Pro, which still, like you can see, I have my like plus Z access notes here and stuff like that, and what the offset needs to be. But I haven't used this in a while. But for LAN, I've been cleaning up downstairs. Usually, it's way more messier. Here's some of the chairs that people can use. That's my old chair, and then that's one I picked up from Facebook Marketplace. But, so here's one sleeping area for one person. And then, normally all these boxes and stuff are on these tables. But I cleared off those two tables. We're going to be bringing them up the stairs and using them with my dining table as well as some foldable tables. And then, as you can see back there, there's another sleeping IKEA unfoldable futon and a bedroom in there. So once these tables are gone, there will be space down here for air mattresses. Like air mattresses can be here as well. So, yeah, everything will be upstairs this time. I don't know if I should go upstairs because I'll probably start to sound robotic, but you should be able to still see the signal. So I'll show you a little bit of upstairs. Let me know when I go robotic though, as we walk, and let me make sure to not get Melissa in the shot. But the Wi-Fi, because we're on a mesh network, should be okay. I'm at the top of the stairs now. I'm above the computer. So this is the upstairs area. How robotic I am. And then people in the TV room and stuff. But yeah, let me see. Alright, we are downstairs now. How robotic did my voice become when I was upstairs? Oh, it did get robotic? Okay. But the camera still worked, right? You guys could still see? But yeah, so I've been, over the past few days, clearing up the upstairs. So I'm excited because this LAN, we have not LANed upstairs at my house since 2019. So 5 years ago, we did one LAN upstairs, and then we got to the point where the LAN, like the group got too big, when significant others and stuff started coming. So then we couldn't fit upstairs anymore. You could only fit around 12 to 13 people upstairs. And then any bigger, which we've had, you know, up to like 14, 15, 16 people, then we got to do it down here because there's more room down in the basement. But this LAN, we are going to be missing like 4 people, just, you know, due to personal reasons and other commitments that they had. So we have a head count of 12, which means we can fit upstairs. And the good thing about landing upstairs is it's right next to the kitchen. Like, walking up and down this hallway every time you want to quickly grab a drink, anytime you want to just like do something upstairs, it's kind of annoying. It's nice that it separates all the loud noise and stuff from the rest of the house, like for Melissa's sake, like when we're yelling and screaming and gaming and she's just chilling in the house. But having the LAN party right next to the kitchen and on the same floor as the TV room, it's just, I think, gonna be a lot better with regards to just like the fluidity of it, right? Like, oh, you want to quickly grab a drink, you can just go, the kitchen is literally right there. Oh, you want to grab a snack or something, it's all on the same level instead of having to go down these narrow stairways. So yeah, is Brunzel gonna make it? Yeah, Brunzel and his wife are gonna make it. Yep. So the people who aren't gonna make it is Meg, because she's out of town, unfortunately. Aretha is, she has like other prior commitments, unfortunately. She's gonna try to join us remotely. James's brother Jesse, who has the big truck, I think he has work. And then Sean can't make it because he had a second kid. So Valhalla, I did not see your super chat, but I can bring it up right now. Let me see. Looking for some feedback, suggestions on a PC build I'm going to do. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. Can I send a PC part picker list? You can send a PC part picker list. It's in Canadian, but around 2,300 USD, which doesn't include, you already have a 2 terabyte. Can you put the link in the Discord server, Valhalla? Are you in the Discord server? Links are in the description. If you could join and then put it in the stream submissions channel, and I could take a look at it here. Sean a daddy now. I know, right? It's like we're all growing up even more and more with each LAN. I think in the latest LAN party, like when I showed Jesse's daughter from when she was in, you know, her mom's uterus to now, is crazy. We've been doing the LAN party stories for this is the 8th year. I'm gonna try to plan something for like the 10 year anniversary, something special. But yeah, it's crazy. I counted. I've released, I think, 17 LAN party story videos in total. So definitely did not think it would like evolve into what it has so far. Alright, desired specs story. Basically, long story short, went to his house, I got my refund, and a day later, okay. So you got a refund. So he wasn't like, you know, aggressive or trying to be defensive about it. He was like, oh, okay, sorry, I sold you a dead card and gave you your money back. It was that easy? No, sorry, I keep going. Okay, shirt idea like Robo Danny. Wait, what are you talking about? What did Killer say? Good for Sean. Oh, new shirt idea. New shirt idea. Robo Danny. I don't know about that. What that would look like. Maybe. I don't think people. I'm still waiting for. Did I show you guys the merch? Did I show you guys the upcoming merch, or did I only show that on Jason's stream? Yeah. Okay, Valhalla. Yep, I see the stream submissions. I will pull that up in a second. There is upcoming merch. I'm just trying to finalize it. Green RoboCop at the top of the stairs. That would be such a... Unfortunately, that would be such a niche inside joke that I don't think... It's not like my merch sells like crazy anyways, but having something that niche, like 3 people are going to buy it. I don't know if it would be worth the investment of getting a design. Can you put a link to become a member? There shouldn't be a link needed. Like if you go to... Give me 1 second. We'll look at the PC part picker list in a second, Valhalla. Just hang tight. Like, if you go and watch, like, here's the live stream. There's me. There should be a link to join right here for a member. Oh, if you're talking about Discord, yeah, there should also be a link down here. Link to the Discord server. So, I don't know if you're talking about member, like, channel memberships, or if you're talking about the Discord server link, but it's there. Oh, you're asking me for just... Okay, I can... For in chat, I can do that too. I think... Let me see. Does this work? We'll see if the bot works for... !Discord. Do I still climb? I don't anymore, Charles. I still have all my climbing gear, but the gym that I used to go to called Seattle Bouldering Project, that it became a hassle once I moved up north, kind of away from the city. Though they did open up a climbing gym more close to me, but one of the main things that I climbed for in the past was because all of my college friends did it. Like, literally, all of my friends from college, they climbed. So we would used to go to the climbing gym together when I lived in Seattle. And as I moved further away, everyone started having kids, getting more busy and stuff like that. Like, if I went to the gym up here, I would be going pretty much solo. And I guess I could make new friends at the gym and stuff, but it was one of those things where I definitely got into it because my other friends got into it first. And I did it seriously for quite a while, for a number of years. But, yeah, now it's just like, I fill my time in other ways. If I knew more people that regularly climbed up here, I probably would get back into it because it is a very good, like, in terms of, like, keeping fit and active, it was really good for that. And all climbing gyms also have a decent, like, gym setup for lifting weights and stuff, for the stuff that I can't do at home. But, yeah, I don't know. I still have all my gear. I could always rejoin and start climbing again. But, I think my next venture, and it's been, like, sitting at the top of my, my mind for the longest time, is I just haven't got myself to go yet, was to rejoin a martial arts gym. Oh, not martial arts, because boxing, I wouldn't say boxing. Would you call boxing a martial arts? I wouldn't really. But when I say martial arts, I mean like Muay Thai. If my next thing, if I join a gym membership, it would likely be either a boxing gym or a Muay Thai gym, to get into doing that again, because like I did that for a few years right after graduating high school. I enjoyed it, but that was when my friends none of my friends did martial arts or anything like that. They all did rock climbing, so I was the only one doing martial arts, and then they got me into rock climbing, so then I did rock climbing instead of martial arts. But now that I'm up here by myself, I'm down to rejoin either a boxing gym, because I'm a huge fan of, you know, professional boxing, or Muay Thai, just because that has always been fun. So yeah. Haha, fair. I was the friend at college who got a bunch of people into it. So Charles, do you climb like now still consistently? I feel like a lot of these hobbies, or if you want to call it phases, it's really easy to get in and out of them depending on what phase of your life you're in. I know plenty of people who like used to climb like pretty much multiple days a week on the weekends, and then now they don't much anymore, just because other, you know, they have other commitments or other hobbies and real life stuff comes up. So yeah, you've been climbing for 4 years. Nice. What kind of climbing you like doing? Picked it up after quitting YouTube. Gotcha. I mostly like bouldering just because of you don't need as much equipment. You don't need the ropes. You don't need like the quick draws, stuff like that. I have all that equipment, but bouldering was always nice because you kind of just need a crash mat if you're going outside, or if you're going indoors, then you don't need anything except for a pair of shoes. But yeah. Matthew Molina, it was great. Okay, I have, we did a YouTube Shorts with you, right? But Matthew Molina, thanks for stopping me at PAX to say hi and meeting my friends and stuff like that. I was actually, it took all of us by surprise when we saw a viewer come up that not only recognized me, but also recognized my friends from the LAN Party videos. It was really cool. It was like a surreal moment for them. It's like, oh my god, it's like they're kind of like a celebrity almost. But yeah, thanks for saying hi. I always appreciate it when viewers stop by and, you know, or stop me at public events like that to say hi. So, okay, let me get to Valhalla's PC part picker list because they did do the super chat, which I super appreciate. Okay, this isn't Canadian prices. Can I just like, let's just pretend this is a US price. Boom, 21.28. I just took the Canadian out of the link. All right, what are we looking at here? For a $2,000 PC, and I will get back to the chat. We got 7800 X3D. Okay, I'm not gonna ever complain about a higher end system having a 7800 X3D. We've got the Lian Li Galahad Trinity, so 360 cooler for 110. Okay, pretty good pricing there. An X670E PG. Okay, $200. Let me take a look at this board. I mean, I'm not gonna. Likely, I won't have any complaints about this. The nice thing when you get higher end builds like this that give you like $2,000 budget, there is like infinite room for flexibility. So I'm mostly looking for, is anything inherently like wrong and bad that sticks out like a sore thumb? Obviously, you can choose a different cooler for the same price point. You can choose a different motherboard. There's plenty of motherboards at $200 or less. But I'm gonna look for things. Oh, this looks like are we talking about an all black build? They didn't mention, but I mean, it looks like we're going for non-RGB kind of stealth components. Yeah. I mean, this has a little screen thing on it, but everything else is not. We've got like a planar black case. Lian Li Landcool. Love the Landcool series. And we've got a 4080 Super Ventus. Okay. Yeah, so we're going for like, it looks like a stealth black build. Yes, sir. Stealthy. Okay. So looking at these parts, you already have the 2TB SSD, 32 gigs of RAM, 6000 CL30. The T-Create, I've actually been hearing good things. If you do want to mess around with like the timings and overclock a little bit, the T-Create, I've been seeing, plus it's $90 for 32 gigs, which should be plenty. Seasonic Focus GX 1000, $200, ATX 3.0, compliant. For $1,000, that sounds about right. I think if you went down to 850, then you could knock probably like around 30 to 50 bucks off of this. But looking at this list, I don't see anything. You tried to future-proof too, which I'm guessing you mean like you don't want to have to upgrade for at least, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. So looking at this parts list, I don't see anything super wrong with it. And I'm sure you might be able to find deals on slightly different, like a different case, different model of a 4080 Super. Yeah, I mean, I think you did a good job. And you know, you're spending over $2,000. I don't think you necessarily need to cut corners or try to like shave off any amount of money. If anything, any additional money thrown at it would be for more storage on top of what you already plan on putting in there, your 2TB. Maybe like what the thing about the RAM scaling, let me take a look at the RAM. If you want a future proof, even though I don't think you need 64 gigs of RAM, but I just want to take a look at 64 gigabyte 6000 CL30. Like what are we talking about in terms of pricing here? Yeah, so even the RAM scaling doesn't even look that great when it comes to, so it's 170 and you're only paying, yeah, so sometimes you can get double the amount of RAM for only like 150, 160% of the same price, but it literally is, you're doubling it pretty much. You're saving like a couple bucks if you do decide to double per gigabyte. But yeah, it's not that much of a discount to go for the 64 gig kit than to stick to the 32. On Amazon, the Ryzen 9 7900X is $326. Yeah, but if they're gaming, then the 7800. You could argue either way. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? But Valhalla, I think your build looks fine. You know, anything else that you make changes to it will be on a personal level, which I don't. It seems like you already know what you're choosing. So you're not gonna make like a horribly wrong decision. But like, when it comes to the difference between a Ryzen 9 7900X versus a 7800X 3D, even though the 7800X 3D benchmarks is better or performs better on the gaming side of things, are there people out there who are gonna look at a 7900X and be like, oh no, that's not enough gaming performance for me? Like, I don't know. If you're running a 4090 or maybe even a 4080 Super at the right settings that you're pushing, you know, like 500 FPS or something, and you want 500 FPS instead of 450 FPS, like, once you get high-end enough, I think the gaming argument, to me, especially since, I don't know, are you guys running like 480 hertz monitors out there? Like, aren't most people capping out at like 240 or 360? I think once you get high-end enough, you don't only look at gaming performance, you also look at what the CPU can do. So yeah, I'd say if you have any inklings of like wanting to do things that require more cores and threads, then I think a 7900X, if it is especially cheaper, right? Because they said what the 7900X is how much? Is $326 versus so you're talking about $100 price difference. I think you could easily swap a Ryzen 9 7900X in here and forfeit some of that gaming performance to save yourself $100 and get more cores and threads for whatever use case you might have in the future. I don't know. I think either processors could work, but if you want the king of gaming, you know, specifically, you can grab this. So low, I'm still at 140, 144 hertz. I was also going with pure gaming performance at 144, 1440p, 360. Okay, if you're going for like 360 hertz, you're starting to, and pure gaming performance, you're fine with the 7800X 3D. Like, I don't think there's any issues with that. Though, what is the, let me take a look real quick. Amazon 7800X 3D. How is it when I type in 7800X 3D? It doesn't even show up at all on Amazon. Am I smoking something? There's 7900X 3D, there's 7900X, there's 5700X 3D, 7950X 3D. It's out of stock everywhere at the moment. Is it? Is that a thing that just happened recently? I mean, I myself have a 7800X 3D. I bought that months ago, though. Is it actually sold out everywhere? Wow! Even on Newegg. It's only being sold by Senti Tech from China. I was lucky enough to snag one. Interesting. Okay, it makes sense. At first, I was a bit surprised. Oh, I'm still surprised. Like, I'm sure part of it has to do with when the Ryzen 9... not the Ryzen 9, the 9000 series CPUs came out, and they all basically got killed in the reviews. People were like, oh, the 7800X 3D is still king of gaming performance. Most people just didn't even consider the newest gen stuff and just went back to the 7800X 3D. Though, this, still, man, was there that many people? Or is there just, like, a supply chain thing where AMD is now... No, they're not going to stop making, like, this 7000 series chips, because they're still making, like, the 5600s and 5800 XCDs and stuff. So, interesting. There must have just been such a demand for them that right now they're temporarily out of stock. Interesting. Right, that discount right there, 7900X, but 7900X is number one seller over the R7 series full run in its productivity hexa-core game appliance second. Okay. I mean, How long have the 7800 X3Ds been sold out for is my question. Because I was actually not aware of this because I'm not like I don't need to buy one anytime soon. At least in India, it says Tanmay Panati. It's been sold out for like 3 weeks. Okay, interesting. Buttercream says, saw your channel through YouTube Shorts. Love your content. Wow. Awesome. I'm glad you found my channel through the Shorts content. And now you're in the Shorts stream. Welcome to the stream. And we do the stream every week, by the way. But thanks for stopping by and saying hi. We just talk about tech stuff here and other random pizza, best pizza chain, you know, random stuff every once in a while. But Rodriguez says, Danny, I could tell from your LAN Party videos that you were familiar with combat because of how aggressive you go on the attack. Every time you thought someone was breaking in. I don't know if that was about having any experience doing like martial arts and stuff. Actually, my paranoia stemmed from before I did trained martial arts. Something about like, I don't know. I have issues sleeping. Not specifically like, it's not like I wake up easily due to sounds because like sometimes Melissa makes crazy amount of noise waking up to get ready for work and stuff. But in like the late hours of the night, we're talking like 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. If I hear a random sound in the house from the refrigerator, from anything, that sounds like someone might be in the house, I will like instantly wake up. Like, I don't know what it is, but that's a thing that happens still to this day. It might have to do with, I've spoken about this before, but my house that we rented in Seattle in a not so great area when I graduated from college, we got broken into once and robbed. I got a laptop stolen. Thank God they did not steal my desktop at that time. This was before I had the YouTube channel, like 2014 or 2015. But yeah, they stole a laptop that I stupidly enough did not put a password on because I didn't think I needed one, and it was a hassle to put a password. So they stole it, and it had my Gmail account and stuff logged in. So like the last pinpoint that they had from, because they opened up the laptop and I guess we're using it, but it pinned my Gmail account location in a town like 30 miles away from me. And I changed all my passwords. I kicked everybody off the login and stuff. But after that, I don't know, like my paranoia for getting like broken into or robbed and just like late night random terrors has been, consistent throughout the years. How can I solve my CPU bottleneck on a 1070 Ti? Also, my CPU is an i5 8400. Ooh, that's a tough one because you solve the CPU bottleneck by going up to like an i7 8700 or 8700K. But I don't know if those are worth buying in this day and age. Like, how much is a i7 8700 cost? So you're talking, this is the T too. Those aren't even the good ones. This is like the low power, like efficiency models. You want, here we go. Wait, this is one of the, the not for, consumer, not consumer, but, yeah, this is like a not official release version. If we look for the official one, 8700K, you could get one for, okay, so $80. See, the issue is how much money do you have to spend? Plus, as soon as you upgrade to your next thing, your 1070 Ti becomes bottleneck. See, for $80, again, you can get a Ryzen 5600. Which is going to be better. But then you're going to need a motherboard. You could pick up a $50 motherboard on AliExpress. Or a used one. But do you have that money to spend? It's going to cost you around $150, maybe a little less, for like an AM4, like Ryzen 5600 plus motherboard combo. Or you just spend 80 something bucks. But to me, this is a dead end upgrade. Like, if you buy this and then your 1070 Ti might become the bottleneck, you upgrade your 1070 Ti, then you're back to being on a bottleneck here. So, this is like a barely incremental upgrade. Anytime you upgrade do a major upgrade, which I consider GPU, CPU, and motherboard major. If you do a major upgrade, I would only recommend doing it if you could do a big enough upgrade so that you won't have to worry about it for a few years. I don't think upgrading to an 8th gen i7 to replace your i5 8400 is worth it. So for me, the play, if you're limited on money, is to go with the Ryzen 5600 AM4 motherboard from AliExpress. That is the most price efficient way you can do it. Or try to get lucky in your local area buying it used from, you know, people around you. But yeah. Zach hates incremental upgrades. Yeah, incremental upgrades make no sense because then you also have to deal with the hassle of selling the thing you just sold. And then this upgrade only lasts for like a year or two until you're like, oh, nah, this thing feels like it's gonna be, you know, be a hassle. Like, buy upgrade. That's why I don't recommend upgrading every cycle, like every next generation for either CPU or GPU. I think 2 generations is typically good enough. Like going from a 30 series to a 50 series for NVIDIA side of things. Going from like a Ryzen, I guess if you're on AM4, it is a good time to jump over. Just because, you know, you will be set for a while on the new motherboards. But yeah, it's kind of a waste of money to upgrade so often. Clearly, the solution is not to upgrade, but to make a new build every cycle. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Not everybody has the money to do a new build every cycle. 7500F can get you on AM5. That is true. It's gonna be a bit more expensive because the CPU is 150. It's 120 versus 80, so that's like a 150% increase. And then the AM5 motherboard is gonna be a little bit more expensive too. And the DDR5 RAM is also a little bit more expensive. We were getting to a point where DDR4 and DDR5 were getting so close to like meeting at the same price. And now it feels like DDR5 kits are just noticeably more expensive than DDR4. So you got to look at all the pros and cons of upgrading more. And it's mostly going to be the cost, right? Of course, it is better to get the newer, later, you know, most recent gen thing, but if people are on a tight budget, I think AM4 is still plenty fine. Memory is the main reason I saved a few bucks by going AM4. 32 gigs is a new standard. I would say 32 gigs is a new standard if you're not on a tight budget. If you've got a limited budget, I don't think it's a necessity if you're only gaming. I know lots of games are using more and more RAM, but so long as your 16 gigabytes does not inhibit you to the point of like stuttering, like I could deal with a little less frame rate, right? Like, am I gonna notice the difference between like if I'm playing an esports game, like 180 FPS versus 130 or 140? Probably not. But are there any titles out where if you have 16 gigs of RAM and when you play it, it is going to give you like noticeably stutters and hitches? I've not run into any of them. I was just testing Final Fantasy 16, which is pretty crazy demanding, as well as a bunch of other modern games with 16 gigs still. And there's no like stuttering, you know, 1% lows are still fine. So 16 gigs if you're on a budget, but yeah, 32 obviously if you can make it work. But I need Chrome open in the other screen during gaming. That's like 10 gigs of RAM. Chrome, okay. Alright, let me see. Let me just open up a bunch of Chrome windows real quick. Let me see. Task Manager. What are we looking at here? Okay, so let me add a window to the source. Actually, no. Adding the window is too difficult. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, look at this. Hey, look, there's you guys on the stream setup. Look at this. I have 71, actually, how many? I have a bunch of Chrome tabs up here, like a ton of them. How many? I have a bunch of Chrome tabs open because I am a person who never, like, I have multiple Chrome windows open, but they each have like a ton of tabs. But what is being used? This isn't the tab count, but I have a lot open right now, and it's using, so it's too hard to tell here by each instance how much Chrome is using. But I don't think most people should expect to, on a budget, run like all these amount of tabs and game and be like, oh yeah, this is why I definitely need 32 gigs. I mean, if you have enough money to pay for it, feel free, but be better than me, okay? Close your Chrome tabs. Is the RX 7900 GRE is good for real? FR for real? Yes, the 7900 GRE for the price that they go for is pretty good. Ghost Dylan says, WTF, that many tabs? Bruh, I don't know. I'm one of those people who I might need to go back to that tab. What ends up happening, this happens so many times. I open up a Chrome tab for like a specific page, I forget about it, and I don't close it, and then I open up a new instance of Chrome, and I go to that same website. So, like, on many occasions, I will have the same exact page open across different Chrome windows and tabs. I'm bad about it, but even then, look, I have 64 gigs in my system, even with running the stream on top of, like, Discord with all these, and I have my live stream panels open. I have it. I'm not even hitting a third of my memory. I'm still under a third of it, so total. So we're talking, what's a third of 64? So that's like 22 gigs, but that's an extreme use case. Oh, I forgot. I also have my Premiere Pro open in the background, as well as OBS. OBS only takes up 1 gig. Interesting. Have I seen the Dell? Let's take a look at this. The Dell G2724D. Oh, I love these model names. 165 Hz, 1440p HDR, and swivel mount IPS. Wow. For $225? It looks like it's... Is this it? G2724D. This is... Well, this is 170, but is this a different one than you're talking about? 160... I just used this for something. Let me show you. I think I just used this monitor. Wow, this is funny because I have not heard of it until I did my Did I use this monitor for my YouTube Shorts thing? I did. On some of my YouTube Shorts, I asked people console versus PC and the reasons why. I just made this little template thingy for the YouTube Shorts, and it is that exact Dell monitor with readout on the screen. You can see the base even. It's so funny that you bring this up. And I didn't look into the monitor. I just went to Google Images and pulled the first thing I could find. But holy cow, 170 for a 27-inch 1440p 165 Hz IPS display. And it's not even for $225. It's on sale for $170. Wait up. You bought it a couple of weeks ago. It's phenomenal. The response time is great at 60 response time is great at 60 FPS, no ghosting or tearing. It's G-Sync 2? Is it G-Sync? Oh, what? Wait up. Let me Let me look for let me just look for 165 hertz, 27 inch, 1440p G-Sync. I mean, monitor prices are going down, but let's take a look. This is 180 hertz, so a little bit more for 240-ish. Here's also similar, G-Sync 270. I mean, what's the cheapest? What's this one? This one probably, oh, adaptive G-Sync. Wait up. This is 27 inch, 144 hertz, 1440p. What is this one? What is this brand? The only thing I would be a little bit concerned if this monitor is really up to the specs that they claim. Oh, this one's not IPS though, probably. So yeah, you lose IPS, which does drop the price of monitors dramatically. Is this actually G-Sync? I'm trying to see, or are they just using buzzwords? Let me see if they say G-Sync anywhere else, because I wouldn't be surprised. See, adaptive G-Sync. I don't think most companies promote it that way. Usually they use the word like adaptive sync for like FreeSync, but adaptive G-Sync, is this a common way to just like, is this legit fully flush G-Sync? That's what I'm questioning here, because that would explain why this monitor for the close to the same specs except minus actual G-Sync and minus IPS is going for 143, which seems to be, well, see, yeah, so I've heard adaptive sync, but the way that they word it here is just odd. It's adaptive G-Sync separated by FreeSync Premium. So if this actually has legit G-Sync, then for 143 minus the IPS, like, what do you guys think? Let's see, do they give any other panel information? It is a VA panel as expected. So the color quality and accuracy is not going to be nearly as good as IPS. But between these two deals, you're talking $170 for pretty much everything perfect. And then this one, you don't get IPS. Would you pay the $30 difference to go up? And I guess brand, Kuori, I'm sure they're fine. But would you pay 30 bucks more to get IPS and Dell? Oh yeah, the swivel mount. What kind of mount does this one have? This one, does it swivel? Let me see. They don't talk about it. It might just be tilt. Is it height adjustable? Let me see. This would be something they should talk about as a selling point. Actually, I can't even tell. What features? Does the video tell us anything? Yeah, show me a keyboard. Oh, there we go. This looks like one of those style of monitors that have at least height adjustable. V-shaped stand. Kui monitors suck. Tiltable stand. Okay, you can tilt. Oh, I guess it's not height adjustable. It's just an overly built thick stand for no good reason except to tilt. And okay. The Dell one is a killer deal. The interesting thing is this a permanent price reduction? Because there's no slashed out, like, you know, used to be $220 or like it's on sale. I'm just seeing this as the price. There's no indication this is a temporary sale or a temporary price reduction. Yeah, this is, oh wait, let me check the VA. If I choose the VA version, for some reason it costs $220. Is this a price mistake? Hold up. How is it when I choose the inferior settings, it's still... What is Dell doing? This might be a mistake. Or a glitch. Yeah. Because... Wait up. Let me change to some of these other things. I mean, it is giving me different models. So, I don't think it's just showing me the same thing over... Yeah. I think, Oh, wait. Yeah, the price is still there. Okay, guys. Well, if you need a new monitor and can afford it right now, this might actually be a good one that will last you a while, because all their other inferior 144 hertz VA panel is costing more. So I think there's something up here. They might... No, I don't know. It's worth trying. I think it's worth trying because at the end of the day, you don't lose anything. And I've bought price mistake Dell before. It was actually Western Digital 240GB SSDs back in 2017. Dell had them for like 30 bucks when at the time they were going for 60 or 70. I bought like 6 of them or something like that through the Dell website. It was a price mistake. But yeah, if you need a monitor, here's the difference, right? When you see those obviously scam eBay and Amazon price mistakes, those, I say, stay away from them. Don't put money in the scammers' pockets. But when it's on a legit official website being sold directly from Dell itself, you're not fueling, you're not enticing, you're not encouraging scammers. If anything, you get a good deal. If not, they made a price mistake, then no biggie. I wonder if they would charge you. Some companies don't charge you until it ships. You would have to look into that. But yeah, this is a crazy good deal. It does say sale. Oh, there we go. From $199. Why? Someone said 200. But even then, I feel like compared to what you can get from Amazon, there's nothing even close to it. Do they sell these on Amazon? Yeah, so it says sale. Though sometimes, even though it says sale, the normal price is only 200, which actually isn't bad compared to everything we've seen. I can't... this thing is on Amazon for 200 bucks. Refurbished 200. We're not looking at refurbished, right? This is brand new. Yeah, nothing indicates that this is refurbished. So on Amazon, you could get it for a worse price refurbished. Have I built in any cases with handles recently aside from the P60? I have not. I mean, there's plenty of cases with handles out there, though it looks like AliExpress has way more of them than anything. Like typing in handle PC case, it seems like I get more hits on AliExpress than I do on Amazon and Newegg. I'm always down to look at cases with handles, but I need to find a build that I can do with it. And I'm always down if you guys find any that you want me to check out. Just leave them as a link, like hit me up on the Discord, like in the general channel or stream submissions or whatever, tag me and put a link to it and I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, I'm always down to build. I am a collector of cases with handles. Let me show you something I have planned for a future video that I might wait a little bit on. If I can find it. Alright. It's in storage right now, so I can't grab it. But yeah, I have a Thermaltake LAN box that's pretty much unused. It's not new in box because it's been open. But we're talking about, to me, the OG. This is, for me, this is the OG case with the handle. I don't remember what year this thing came out. It must have been like 2009 or something. I'm sure this isn't the first case that came out with the handle, but oh my god. Look at that thick handle. This case specifically this case, the Thermaltake LAN box, which I don't know why they took the LAN box out of the title. This is what got me started and obsessed with PC cases with handles. My obsession with handles stems back before I even started my YouTube channel. Yeah, this thing, crazy. This is a weapon. This is like, this is a kettlebell in PC form that you could swing at someone and take their head off. But yeah, so I have one of these. As you can see, it does employ old design practices, such as, like look at the side panel, the acrylic side panel with the vents in it, as well as a bunch of these like optical bay drives and stuff like that. No USB-C. I mean, what is this? Fire wire, or you know, just whatever. I don't know what connector is on here. But this is starting to become a relic of the past. Like, yeah, what the heck? Why did they change the... So, Thermaltake had a lamer version. They had this called the LAN Box Lite with no handle. Like, okay, it's cool. It's like a cube case, which I do like as well. I like these GameCube form factory looking things. But the full LAN box, man, this thing. Oh, look at this one. From 2007. Yeah, this thing is old. And look at, I'm not sure what happened to their handle. It looks like it started to fade or something, but yeah. I'm excited to do a modern build in this. I just need to figure out how I'm going to do it. Because this thing is pretty poorly designed for today's standards. Like, the size of graphics cards today, just like, you know, I guess there's room because there's hard drives, which I guess I could take some of the hard drive bays out. But cable management in this thing is pretty abysmal. So this is going to be a fun video. I like the dark case. Yeah, the DLM, that's the one, I believe I had that one. I actually have it sitting in the back there. Oh no, never mind, not this one. I had the Dark Flash. Whatever. Oh. Where is it? It was like an ITX build. This thing. Oh, the DLH21 Mini. I had this Dark Flash case. But I've not used a Dark Flash like full tower. Have I taken a look at the powertrain's other cases? Let's take a look now. I've seen the other one with the handle. Actually, someone put it in the stream submissions. Okay, so we got the one that the P60. Here's the X100, which is also a very similar design case, though I am not as a fan of the tempered glass mounting mechanism. But someone submitted a builds and setups. Here, let's take a look at this. So, ooh, and we can look at people's builds too. But here's the Powertrain X200 posted by Tegium. But let's take a look at these pictures. Let me open these in a new tab so we can get a good look at it. But yeah, so here's another one, X200 with this case, this handle on the other hand, I don't know. This seems a little bit sketchier because it's just like thin sheet metal. But I'm sure if you support it at the bottom, it's fine. And so here's Tegium's build. This one, though, at least has cable management in the rear. But what are the specs on this? 7500F, I'm guessing AliExpress. ASRock B650M, 3070 Ti, EVGA G7 750 watt, Team Group Expert, 6000, 32 gigs, 2 terabyte King Spec SSD. Interesting choice of the SSD, King Spec and Kingdian in those brands. I think some people would have a problem with them, but Powertrain X200, closed loop cooler, that's 240. Let's see. What the APNX FP1 on the rad? Is that what those thick, gigantic fans are? Yep. I was about to say, what are these gargantuan thick boy fans on here? At first I thought it was the radiator, but when I saw the split, yeah. So you got some pretty serious cooling here, even though it's only a 240. And then a Formula Mod custom cables to save on the cable management side of things. You had to use special bolts on them. They were so thick. Yeah, these are some mighty thick fans. How 30 millimeter fans. Yeah, these are some thick ones. What about the Chase Bank glitches? Anyone who took advantage of the Chase Bank glitch, didn't they get hit up with notices that basically they have to pay it back, or they're going to be sent to debt collection, or they could actually get in legal trouble, right? That's what last I heard about that story. Talking about tech, ATM machine tech news. Do people use those mini PCs at LAN parties? You're talking about these type of mini PCs? Like the what's it called? Talking about like these things? Nobody does. At the LAN parties, the smallest thing anyone has ever used are like laptops. Though one of these companies actually hit me up. Which was it? Geekoum? It was one of the companies. Actually, multiple companies have hit me up for these. I am waiting until these things are more capable in terms of like the docks and stuff, which they are coming out with, like Oculink and docks that can support full-size graphics cards with the support of a power supply, before I make content on it, because I think that's the biggest thing for people. Like, first of all, this is a very niche use case to begin with, but if anyone was to consider it and was a gamer, they would want to be able to maximize the performance with not being held back with like bandwidth for the graphics cards. So, and like I'm kind of waiting for that technology to mature more, as well as this to just become more affordable, because these mini PCs, they're actually pretty interesting. If you look from like a hardware perspective, a lot of the times these come as decent deals. Like these will cost $500 to $600, but they're also throwing in like i9s, which are already like $400 to begin with. They're throwing in like 32 gigs of RAM, 1 to 2 terabytes drives. They come with a board, you know, stuff like that. Like the hardware itself, I think it's worth the money. It's just the lack of upgradability. It's like you need to have a better selling point for people to consider this. But yeah. I think they're cool. I'll definitely check one out once it gets to the right price point and feature set to be worth it for the gaming side of things. Jason says, we used one of them for a couch gaming PC for our yearly get-together this year. Worked well for easy games. Did you use it? Because you also had the Oculink dock, right, Jason? You didn't use the dock. You just used the machine with the integrated graphics. But anything AAA is tough. Well, it's tough until you get a dock and a dedicated graphics card. Which, if you think about it, like let's consider the $600 model of these, right? This one's not a $600 model, but they make them in the i9. Here's one. Wow. At Micro Center, this one has an i9. It's obviously the underpowered, more mobile version. But performance-wise, this probably comes in similar to like a desktop i7. And for $330, I don't know the details of this, if it's missing RAM and SSD, probably, being this cheap. It might be the bare bones kit. But Imagine getting one of these, slapping a $400 graphics card, $50 power supply. You're looking at like budget $700, $800 PC territory with the equivalent performance of like a 12th gen i5 or i7 and whatever graphics card you threw in there. So I think they could be interesting. It's still niche. No dock at that time. Oh, okay. Just the 8840 HS directly. Okay. I use a B-Link 5800H 32GB mini PC for school. Was able to play War Thunder, Fallout. Yeah, if you go for the AMD APU variants, then you're definitely gonna have a better time gaming than whatever the heck Intel. Oh man, is there any like leaks of Intel coming out with actual competitive APUs? Would you guys consider Intel APUs? Someone left a comment the other day about like looking at APU builds, and they said Intel APUs, and I was thinking, are Intel processors with integrated graphics, do they technically fall under the APU umbrella? So APU CPU, accelerated processing unit. So that was the APU is like an AMD coined term, right? Formerly known as Fusion. At least the wiki says so. Unless the wiki is wrong, APU was specifically a name that AMD came up with for their processors that had pretty, better than just what your standard integrated graphics would be. So regardless of like the terminology, I kind of wish Intel had an equivalent where they have like good mid-range like i5s that could compete with AMD's line of APUs, because sometimes people are just playing League of Legends and Valorant and they don't have enough to buy a graphics card, and I think in those use cases APUs are very good like stepping stones to get you there until you can save up enough money, because at the end of the day the core CPU portion of it is still very, very good and capable. Robert Fixit says there has to be a point at which Intel CPUs smash with the Intel Arc and create an Intel. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much the technology like overlaps in terms of like the R&D, but if we could just get some Intel chips that has better than UHD, whatever the heck, what is the most current Intel Ultra HD graphics chipset? Let's see. Let's look at i9 14900K. What is the most like expensive high-end consumer processor have it paired with it? Ultra UHD graphics 770. This is so pathetic. Like, you've got this thing. So it goes up to 1.65 gigahertz. Okay, yeah, but let's just look at this in the gaming side of things, right? Let's look at like a League of Legends. Hopefully this thing can run it decently well. That would be sad if it couldn't. League of Legends, and someone else tested it with, because they basically paired these integrated graphics with like a wide range of chips. Here we go. Here's a 12900K integrated graphics, very high at 1080p. What are we looking at here? Frame rate. Where's the frame rate counter? Okay. Come on. Stop looking at. Okay. So let's get to a point where they're like team fighting or killing creeps. CPU usage. Where's the frame rate counter? Am I blind? The heck? Oh, yep. I was scrolled down. I'm stupid. Alright, we're looking at 219 FPS. Okay, this is 1080p on high. So it can run games like LOL, it seems. Let's see. 1% lows at 130. That's fine. Maybe at the end of the game there's more team fights. Let me see if I can get to there. Okay, so here's a more. So you gotta take the FPS numbers from a team fight, because we just went from 200 FPS to like 130. So I mean, it's still getting 130 FPS when you're in like a more, a more busy scene. 175 right here, but as soon as they get closer to the base and do a team fight, it looks like, yeah, it's dropping. Yeah, once you get, it looks like to here, is that to the 150s. I mean, for a $600 CPU, I think it could run League. It could probably run Valorant, because Valorant surprisingly runs better than League. But I don't know. I would just hope for more integrated performance. It's kind of sad how Intel has made like almost zero progress on their consumer chips in how many years now? We're on 14th gen, and they're still sticking Ultra HD 770 on their i9s. In a dream world, Intel will release Black Edition CPU with good integrated graphics. I mean, I think the target like tier is the i5 Ryzen 5s. Once you start getting the i7 Ryzen 7s, I don't like how do you have that much money to spend on like a $300-ish CPU and can't afford a graphics card? I understand there are some people who literally have to cut their budget off and then save. So having an APU at the i7 Ryzen 7 tier would be useful. But I think the target demographic for APUs is definitely like the Ryzen i3s, the Ryzen i5s. Okay, blah, blah, blah. The MSI Claw. Okay, a couple people are saying look up the MSI Claw. Gripping game. Wait, this thing? The handheld? With the new Series Ultra, the 155 Ultra or whatever they use in the MSI Claw. Okay, so looking at the Ultra 7 processor, i55. Or is he MSI Claw 2? Should I have looked up the Claw 2? Don't buy this. Don't buy this handheld, they say. So you're saying look at the next revision. Can I get the specs of it? Oh, video cards not letting you copy and paste or scan the page. Okay, so they're using, do they have the information? Yeah, so we're looking at the 155H. This is definitely, yep, so it's mobile. 6 cores, 8 efficient cores, 22 total threads, 2.2 gigahertz. Okay, so that's on the that's more impressive. Yeah, Intel Arc graphics. Okay, so this actually looks legit. We just need it to not be only mobile and at a more affordable price point than 503 bucks. Like, come on, we've got Ryzen 5600Gs and stuff, sub $200. We need competition in that area. Series 2 would be a 200. Okay, so yeah, that's all. That's great and all, but if it's only made for specialty devices like the Claw, and it never hits the consumer desktop market, then unfortunately, that's not of much use to budget builders who are looking for like these stepping stone APU cards or CPUs. Intel is going downhill fast. I'm not gonna be too quick to jump on the Intel hate train and Intel is over party. You know, they messed up on the 13th and 14th gen chips, but I think, come on, they're just the next company that has messed up recently. We've seen Think of all the companies that messed up and are fine. Gigabyte with their exploding PSUs. NZXT with their case that had the short that caused fires. Asus with their horrible return warranty RMA return policy type stuff. AMD had their fair share of issues of chips bulging and voltage issues. Come on, let's think of any other. What company have I not named? MSI? Actually, no. Zotac with horrible return policies. Like, every company has had some kind of drama in the past, and they made it just fine. Now, Intel's a big three company. So when we talk about the big three, it's Intel, AMD, and Nvidia. Nvidia, talking about all that AI and stuff, are making gamers mad because it seems like Jensen only cares about that market and are leaving gamers behind, but people are still going to buy Nvidia cards regardless. Plus, they've had releases like the 4060, which I didn't think was that bad, but the 4060, probably one of the most hated recently released graphics cards, and people are still buying those up, and they're doing just fine. So yeah, I don't think, like, companies going downhill is fine, but I don't think any company is gonna be like closing their doors, and they always have the chance for a redemption arc. Intel, I've got Daniel has an A770, so no hate here. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how they do. I think before we can say a company's going to like downhill or just complete crap, aside from it being like the latest buzzworthy topic for the month or quarter, we gotta see over the course in the next year or two if that trend continues. But I think they're still fine right now. Intel's having other issues outside of that, but yeah, so long as they take care of the customers and are doing things the right way, I don't think it's gonna have like long-term lasting impacts. See how many hospitals run on AMD CPUs, so Intel will be fine. Good point. When you realize that your 1070 Ti pulls more watts than a 4060. If that's one of the good talking points for the later entry, mid-range NVIDIA GPUs, it's their efficiency. So, for most people, that's not going to matter. In the US, I should say. Most people in the US. Electricity is pretty cheap in the US. Other parts of the world, not so much. Oh, what's up, Demon Mint? Very late indeed. We are 2 hours into the stream. We do got to do a grocery store run so I can start getting stuff for the LAN party. What are we doing this for meals? Oh, so for meals this time for LAN party, I'm really excited. So Friday night always pizza. So we're gonna have another great pizza debate. I don't know what we're gonna land on, but pizza Friday evening, as always. We usually get like $100 worth of pizza. And that's quite a bit of pizza considering we buy, for the most part, budget pizza, right? We're not buying like super fancy stuff. We're buying like $7 to $8 pizzas. So pizza Friday as always. Breakfast, whatever. Typical bacon, eggs, hash brown type stuff. But lunch on Saturday, we're going to do a Subway style sandwich bar. So we're going to buy a bunch of hoagie breads. We're going to buy different spreads. We're going to buy a bunch of different meats and vegetables. And it's basically going to be like Subway, where you can put whatever you want on your sandwich, which works really well with the box of chips that we always buy that never gets eaten up. So sandwich and chips on Saturday lunch. And then on Saturday dinner time, I'm going to be making gumbo, which I don't talk about much, but gumbo and jambalaya are like one of my favorite things to eat. They're just a pain to make, and it's hard to find them in restaurants, so I don't eat them often. But I do love me some gumbo. I just made jambalaya this week, but it reminded me and made me want to make gumbo. So more soup-like things for Jason. No Oriental soup, but gumbo is pretty soupy, but it is super hearty. like the base in gumbo, plus you know, you got chicken, you got andouille sausage, you got shrimp, and then whatever vegetables you throw in gumbo. Yeah, I'm excited. For the LANs, you kind of gotta stick to the types of meals where you can make a big pot of something and people can just scoop it out to eat. Like when you're doing things like individual hamburgers, chicken patties, or you know, chicken thighs, you have to like count how many things there are. Okra, that's what it was. Okra, yeah. But yeah, you have to like count how many. If you do ribs, you have to make sure there's enough amount of stuff for people. But when you do like a big pot of like curry, afrittata, gumbo, jambalaya, it's like you just make enough and you don't have to worry about having like distinct amounts of items for people. It's just a big pot that feeds everybody. But yeah, it just makes it so much easier. So that's what we're doing. And then Sunday is going to be whatever, breakfast and leftover pizza and stuff like that. Leftover gumbo, etc. Reminds me of Soup Plantation. Swamp water? Bro, Jason is such a hater of soupy foods. Oh my goodness. Dude, look at that. This looks so good. Gumbo with rice. Oh. The best Cajun gumbo recipe. I am so excited. You know what? The only time I get gumbo, like served from somewhere else, if I'm not cooking it at home, is at Disneyland. Disneyland in downtown Disney, because Melissa loves Disney, so we go probably every like 3 years or every 3 to 4 years, make a trip down to California, visit family, go to Disneyland. They have, I think, jambalaya at that, in California, jambalaya at like that New Orleans, Louisiana restaurant area. And then downtown Disney, I believe, is what has the gumbo. But yeah, that's like the only time I get gumbo that is like made and served. I don't know of any restaurants around me that has good gumbo or jambalaya. So if I want it anytime other than Disney World or Disneyland, I gotta make it myself. So eat food and drink water separately, bro. Bro, it's chicken broth. It's not water. All these recipes require chicken broth, okay? Gumbo is awesome. I just say give shawarma a shot if you haven't. I've not... have I had shawarma? Okay. No, I've had shawarma before. It's not something I actively seek out, but I've definitely had shawarma. Yeah, it's kind of like a gyro type thing. Yeah, I've had shawarma before. Also, what else is kind of related? What is halal, guys? I think we have a couple of halal guys here in Seattle. Oh, not the vegan version, not this one that I just clicked on, but halal guys, like their chicken and rice dishes. Oh, these are pretty good stuff. So I don't think I would ever try to make this myself. I think to get that flavor on the chicken, it requires a very special dedication and care to get the spices just right. But gumbo's pretty easy. Gumbo, you throw a bunch of stuff in a pot, you stir it, it gets cooked, you eat it. Very easy. It's all about the roux. Exactly. That floury, buttery roux. Did you make sure? Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. If they do, we're taking the shrimp out and putting it on the side. I need to make sure. In terms of food allergies, I think it would have come up. We've had shrimp spring rolls, but always good to check. Always good to check. I need to send a message out to the LAN group. Heck yeah. And Jan just messaged me saying he's coming tomorrow night. Yeah, so Jan's coming around right Thursday night, and sorry, during the stream, we have this LAN Discord server that we plan, and we got people arriving tomorrow night. Okay, yeah. So, anyone have a shellfish allergy? Yeah, definitely don't want a medical emergency happening during LAN because someone ate some shrimp. Who's hosting? I am hosting this time around. I'm going to send Jason some gumbo. Soup haters. Dude, Jason and his Texas LAN Party crew, they are a bunch of shrimp haters. Oh my goodness. I didn't even... Okay, guys, quick thing before we end the LAN. The LAN game list. So, Unreal Tournament 3... what's it called? Archive. So Unreal Tournament 3, because they removed the official Unreal Tournament that was never released from the Epic Game Store. So that's why we haven't played Unreal Tournament recently. But Unreal Tournament 3, you can download the whole game from the Internet Archive. So I'm going to try to get this to work during LAN because I know this game has a LAN mode. But we'll see if sometimes these older games, the networking issues, port forwarding, stuff like that, it becomes a pain in the butt. But you could straight up download Unreal Tournament 3 in its entirety, legitimately, from Internet Archive. Like, they just have the download here for you. So, I'm going to try this. Another game that I think is going to be really fun, especially for the content side of things, is Chained Together. You guys have probably seen this game. Streamers have been playing it. I think it's up to 4 players can be chained together, but I want to do a thing where we put groups of 4 in the LAN group. We have 12 people, so that's 3 groups of 4, and we have a race. So everyone starts at the same time, and we try to finish the stages and see who comes in first, second, or third. I just think this in a LAN setting will be crazy fun. Like, people are going to be yelling at the top of their lungs at each other, like trying to get through the puzzles and stages. Man, yeah, I'm really excited for this. Plus, it's only a $5 game. Look at this. Very positive. Just came out this year for $5. I think this is just going to be simple, stupid fun. But in terms of LAN games, if you guys have any other suggestions that is cheap, because honestly, there's so many games out there that are cheap or free. It's hard to convince a group of 12 to 16 people to drop $60 on the latest new game to play at LAN. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if it's a game that they're not interested in particularly. So, like, if you guys have suggestions for cheap games that supports a lot of players, I'm down for it. Or games like this that's cheap enough where you could still make events that has everyone participating. But I've been on the lookout, man. So that's why I went and looked for Unreal Tournament. What's it called? Quake Arena Champions. This game, I wanted to play for this LAN, but it only supports up to 8 players. And all the other, like Quake Arena 3, it costs like $15, which is kind of a hard sell when you have other free alternatives. But yeah, this Quake Champions is free. It's relatively recent, 2022 official release date. But I downloaded it and it only supports 8 players, which doesn't get everybody in. So that's why we're probably not going to do this one. Supermarket Together. What is Supermarket Together? I've never heard of this. It's free. It doesn't look like it's... Oh, it is free. You can do 5 Wait, the multiplayer supermarket has arrived to your neighborhood free. Stock your shop space. Hire employees. The more players, the more action. Very positive. Just released. Ooh. What's the max players? These are the types of games that are like... They're like hidden gems for LAN. 16 players? Okay. 16 players. I'm linking it in our Discord server right now. I'm downloading it right now, actually. I'm going to download it so that I could Steam share it. I'm pretty sure it's a tiny game. This looks fun. Like, this is the type of stuff. Especially since, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, like, not everybody in our LAN group is into FPS shooters, like competitive games. So when we do play the games like Halo and Unreal and stuff like that, like not everyone has as much fun, even though they do participate, because there's a different huge like skill gap between the worst and the best players, right? So I like to look for games that people either haven't played or does not require much skill to have a lot of fun. So something like this is perfect for it. This looks great. Thanks for the recommendation, Killer NSYNC. I appreciate it. 7 Days to Die has been brought up, Demon Mitt. Not everyone's gonna play it because for some reason 7 Days to Die costs. I know it was cheaper in the past, but since it's had its official release, 7 Days to Die is now $45. I am not gonna be able to convince 16 players to get 7 Days to Die. Now, we do have, I think, like a handful of us that do have this game. So I think we're going to try to play a small group 7 Days to Die. Like, just a small group of maybe 4, 5, 6 people. But there's no way I'm convincing the entire LAN group to spend $45 on this game. Because it's just simply too expensive. I have it. Casey has it. Brunzo has it. Jillian, I think, has it. So there's a handful of us that do have this game where we could get a thing together. Get the bread, brat. Wait, that's not a game, right? That you're just saying a random thing. Okay, yeah, that's not a game. Yeah, it was. I think I got it for under $20 back in the day. It officially released July 25th, 2024 after being in alpha for like, what, 10 plus years? So it finally released, so they upped the price. So if you didn't get in on the 7 Days to Die back then, you're kind of out of luck. Though I think this game has so much playability and replay value that you could get $45 worth out of it. So yeah, Costco run game basically. For sure, yes. So there's Pico Park 2. We have talked about that. That is on our radar. I believe it's free. Is it $5 or something? So Pico Park is definitely a game where we have to swap people out because unfortunately they only support up to 8 players. But Pico Park 2 is only 10. It's less than $10. So I think most people would be down to get Pico Park 2 because we have so much fun playing it. But man, I wish it was a little bit cheaper, like $5. But whatever. The issue with Pico Park 2 is it's not. I was talking to Jason about this. It doesn't feel like a full game. It feels like a DLC or like an expansion pack. Where like the game is basically the same thing. Like they introduced sure a couple of new mechanics, new stages for the most part. But it's the same game. So it's not like you got a graphics overhaul and stuff like that. So I guess $10 is a reasonable price, but seeing that we all probably bought Pico Park for like $3, yeah, I just wish it was a little bit cheaper because I'm cheap and we're gonna have to try to buy or play a lot of new games. So Space Engineers, $20, a lot of fun, not FPS focused. Is that the one where you have to run around and engineering, construction, exploration? $20. So this looks. Is this using the same assets as Unfortunate Spacemen? Do you guys play ARAMs? That's fun. I think we might do an ARAM against Texas Land Crew for the Land Crew battles. But no, people are playing Teamfight Tactics and LOL and stuff throughout the weekend. But as a group, we don't play ARAM because LOL is one of those games where like there are people who love League of Legends. And then there are also people who play League of Legends, don't love it, but they're okay with playing it. They've played RTSs, Dota, stuff in the past. And then on the far side of the spectrum, you get the people who absolutely hate League of Legends, the game style, everything it stands for. And we definitely have some of those people in the LAN group. There are some people who will never, ever touch League, even if they were paid like I don't know, $1 million. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, we do play. There are League enjoyers. I would say more than half of the people in the LAN group are either League enjoyers or can play League. But the other half are just the type of people who never touch those styles of games and never are interested. So yeah. Pierre Cal W says, I built a PC from Micro Center. Should I have just bought used parts or bought from Micro Center? I would say buying from Micro Center, if you're not going to, like, buying new parts from Micro Center, you're usually good to go. I mean, I can't give you advice whether or not to buy used or new. Used will almost always be cheaper than new. If money wasn't an issue, then, and you got a good PC from Micro Center, then you're fine. Like, buying used parts, if you're asking me this question, maybe it's safer that you bought from Micro Center. I think the used parts market has the potential for some pretty, like, you could buy parts that end up failing early on you, and then you're gonna blame the fact that, you know, the YouTuber told you to save money buying used parts and it ended up dying because it has no warranty and it was used for X amount of things. So I think people who want to utilize the used market, you need to understand the risks, and it's better to, like, dabble in it with one part here and there than to just jump right into it building a whole computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, buying a graphics card from the used market and then easing yourself into it is better than buying all 7 components which have X amount of years on them and questionable longevity. So I think you're fine with your Micro Center. Man, I was in high school when the alpha came out. Yeah. Fortnite is free, but Fortnite is kind of annoying. I want to like Fortnite. I benchmark it in pretty much every freaking video. But something about Fortnite, their menus, when you get into the game, they try to throw you all these cutscenes, battle passes, rewards. It's just like, let me just start playing the game instead of having to click through all this nonsense bullcrap. And then, have you seen game menus these days? Fortnite is a pretty bad, like, Fortnite, if you threw it at a complete newbie and you told them play this game mode, it's going to take them a while to figure it out. Same with Call of Duty. Oh my god, I think Call of Duty is worse. The menu in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the fact that they're combining the different games into the same menu and the different game modes, it's like, what are these developers thinking? Like, someone needs to take them out back and, you know, until they make a better menu, because it is ridiculous. Command & Conquer is also fun. Age of Empires, Rise of Nations, those are, we used to play like Warcraft 3 and Rise of Nations. RTS is also another one that's kind of difficult to get people on board with. Like, you're talking about people, 12 to 16 people who have different preferences for gaming. I think you have to choose stuff that is just, if it's like kind of chaotically fun. Choosing specialty games like RTSs and League of Legends is definitely not what appeals to the masses, unfortunately. Gartic Phone has also been... Gartic Phone we've been talking about for years. But Jan says F yes to the Supermarket Together game. But Gartic Phone is a game that we have mentioned, but we've never played. I'm going to mention it here, though. But, what else do we have here? 16-man teams on Rust. Again, Rust, how much does Rust cost? I think Rust would be fun. 30, 40 bucks. Oh, my wallet. $40 for a game that's how many freaking years old? Rust is older than 2018, isn't it? Isn't 2018 the official release? It was an alpha or beta or whatever for like many years. $40 though? It's because it's still a popular game. Yeah, I can't convince people to spend 40 bucks on this. This is like a small group game, if anything. We can't we can't do it. I wish. Rust seems like a really fun game. Rust or DayZ. Dude, we used to love H1Z1 Survival, but that had to get taken out of the Steam library and canceled. Terraria is only $10. We have played Terraria before in certain lands. Honestly, this might be a hot take, and I have Terraria. I've played Terraria. I'm not a fan of Terraria. The platformer style survival digging game, I would prefer it. I like Valheim. If I'm going to play a digging game, I would prefer Valheim over Terraria. When you have 12 to 16 people, I think limiting them to a 2D space is like a crime. Like, I remember when we did the Valheim during the LAN party, that was so much fun. We had some groups gathering, we had some groups exploring caves, we came together, we built a boat, we went across the ocean, we ran into a sea serpent, we killed the tree boss. Like, Terraria, I understand the appeal to it. It's a pretty old game by this point. I don't remember what year it came out, but it's just the 2D nature of it, and it's not even 2D in like flat down like what's it called, Stardew Valley type of 2D. It's a 2D with like, you know, platformer with underground style. I'm just not a fan. I don't know. 10-man WoW raid? No. No. There are people in the LAN group who love WoW, and then there are people who will never touch WoW with a 10-foot pole. I actually resubbed to the War Within. The new warband features, etc. I just got my character up to 68, so now I can do the War Within content. But I have not played WoW since Battle for Azeroth retail. I have been playing hardcore and like classic WoW, but since Battle for Azeroth, I have not touched retail. So, yeah, I'm trying the War Within. I don't know, just from what they like showcased, it looks pretty fun. But yeah, no way. I have suggested like a 10-man naked run from like, I don't know, Dunmer to Stranglethorn Vale or something, because it's free to make a WoW account under level 20, so anyone can do it. The WoW retail install file is like 100 gigs though. It's pretty big. So Valheim is great. Valheim is great solo. I put, how many hours do I have in Valheim? I think like maybe 200 hours, and that was within the first couple of months. I haven't gone back to touch Valheim, but they have done a lot of, yeah, 240 hours in Valheim I have, and that was within the first, like, definitely within the first year. I haven't touched it since the first year it came out. But I mean, I would love for the whole land to do Valheim again, since they have had updates. And then there's, what's that other game that came out that's like it's similar to Valheim, where you start in this tomb, you come out, and it's like an RPG. Games like Valheim. Let me look this up. Enshrouded. Yeah, Enshrouded came out this year too, right? Except with way better graphics. Stuff like this, I would love to... Oh, this one's pretty cheap, actually. I might pick it up for myself. Early access for 24 bucks. Stuff like this would be fun. Up to 16 players. Yeah. This would be amazing. Though, something like this would be really hard, because these games require... Like, when we play games at LAN, we play for like an hour or two, then we take a break, then we play a different game. This game, it needs to be like a whole LAN dedicated to it to make any progress. Like, you need to, everyone's on board, we're all playing this game, that's all we play this weekend. That's how games like Valheim and Enshrouded best work for a LAN party. You can't do this and like 6 other games like we like to do. So, yeah. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, we do have a Switch. People usually bring their Switch. I think people are probably going to bring their Smash. The only issue usually is like the amount of controllers, so everyone needs to bring their own controllers if they are going to play. But then like people don't sometimes only have a Switch without extra controllers, so then you can't just use I guess you could use the Joy-Cons. So then you're trying to link up, what's it called? Like 8 or 10 different Joy-Cons to the same Switch, and that takes a while, so yeah. Wait. Cross out. Oh, Dungeonborn for smaller groups. This game I found, and it's kind of like Dark and Darker. I think this would be pretty fun. Which is kind of like a loot, not loot and shoot, but a loot and extract game. I know it says mostly negative, but I think it's from people not liking the direction that the developers are going. I think as a game itself could still be fun to play. Long term, yeah, maybe this game might not stick around because the players aren't happy with what the devs are doing. But this is like Dark and Darker, and you can make custom lobbies. Because I think in Dark and Darker you can't. And for us, we have to be able to make custom lobbies. But what's cross out? Cross out. Post-apocalyptic MMO action game. Oh, is this like Twisted Metal where you have vehicles? Okay, wait up. And you said this is free? Wait, who said cross out? That was Demon, right? Mad Max car fight. Is this free? How to play. Play for free. Okay. This looks pretty cool. Do people bring Steam Decks? Honestly, I don't think anyone in my friend group has a Steam Deck. Everyone has a PC that works just fine. And they have their Nintendo Switches. Most people in the LAN group have a Nintendo Switch. I don't think they really have a need for a Steam Deck. I don't know if any of them are super like mobile throughout most of, you know, their week. So, but this crossout game, okay. Yeah, we're definitely not gonna be able to hit. These are good suggestions though. I do appreciate you guys. It's free to play. It's also, who cares about pay to win? Can we make custom lobbies is the question, because the pay to win thing doesn't matter when we're all having level 1 characters in a custom lobby, right? But yeah, if we're trying to play online, then that would be bad. But for goofing around, playing with stuff, it's fun. How many people is cross out? Max player, up to 8 players. No. PvE for... Okay, so this is a small group thing. Or an earlier game before everybody gets to LAN. Because sometimes, you know, some people are stragglers. So, like, for the early group, if we have, like, 6 to 8 players, this could be fun. Okay. Okay, so bring out old board games, bruh. We have quite a bit of board games. We have played board games before, I think. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're gonna try to do a quick, I forgot what they call it, a D&D session. Actually, a decent amount of the LAN group are D&D fans. I'm personally not a D&D guy myself. The first time and only time I've ever played D&D was down in Texas with Jason and his crew. But one of my buddy David, the really tall one, he wanted to do a quick, like, 2-3 hour session. I forgot what he called it. But it's basically he's going to make all the characters. He's going to make everything. And we're just going to play it. So, we're going to do a quick D&D session as well at this LAN. He's been asking for a couple of LANs now, and we've never had time to do it, but we're gonna do it this time. So I guess he's really excited about being the dungeon master. So yeah. What's Real Steel? You can have a tournament playing Real Steel. Isn't Real Steel the movie with Wolverine and the fighting robots? But is there a game? Real Steel World Robot Boxing? I'm not seeing, unless, I mean, is this what we're talking about? We're talking about Real Steel. Yeah, Game Pass would be good to get, though. Dude, last time I got Game Pass only for LAN, I forgot to cancel it for so many months. The thing is, again, we only have so much limited time to play the games, right? So, if we did get Game Pass, it would have to have, or we would have to, like, have a shortage of games, which right now, after all your guys' recommendations, with like, Cross Out, Supermarket Together, Chain Together is a new game we're going to do, Pico Park 2, along with all the other games that we like to normally play, like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. I think we have plenty that we won't need Game Pass this time around. Killer Instinct says, oh, because we do have Jan in the house, by the way. Jan Mankarati's in the house, but Killer Instinct says, Mankarati, you cook the best music and your mom cooks the best food, lol. I'm so hype. Very, very kind words. Larry the Lounge. Oh, a one shot. That's what it's called. Yes, we are doing a one shot. There, that is the terminology. D&D isn't my thing either. I'm not creative enough to come up with my own story. Yeah. I mean, D&D, I think if I had a regular group of people to play it in real life on a consistent basis, I would totally do it. Like, if I lived down where my friends lived, I would probably join them, you know, in their D&D sessions that they do hold. But just doing it digitally is not as, like, it doesn't sound as fun as having the physical dice and everybody on a physical map with the figurines in front of you and stuff like that. I know, like, Jason and his crew does that because they're all separated and far away. But, like, I think it is definitely way better in person. So, yeah. It is what it is. I'm not against D&D. It's just I don't have a group to play with. And I guess I could go down to my local, you know, game shop and meet people there and play it. But it's also, like, then you get to the time commitment thing. So, yeah. Like, if I'm going to set aside a time commitment, it's probably going to be with people I know instead of trying to make new friends and then having another group of people to be committed to, if that makes sense. Titanfall 2, yeah. Titanfall 2 has been mentioned by the Texas Land Crew. It's kind of one of those games. Yeah, see, what? This game is pretty much dead. It is included with EA Play, but it's $30 if you want it otherwise. It's on Game Pass. Either way, like, it's one of those things. D&D leads to rent affairs and LARPing, perhaps. But yeah, Titanfall 2 seems fun, but the commitment to play it is, when we have so many other free-to-play games, easy to access, low graphics requirements, small downloads, it's just hard. I would love to try Titanfall 2 with my LAN group, but again, it's like having to, like, rope together 12 to 14 people to agree on stuff and to commit to downloading it, to playing it, to set up the EA Play account if it requires signing into EA Play beforehand. You know, like, each of these things as an individual is a small, like, roadblock, but you apply a small roadblock to 10 plus people, then it becomes like a chore and a hassle. So, ease of playability, you know, cheap or free, those are the things that we look for when we look for games. I would vote that the person who travels the farthest gets to choose their favorite game to battle with. That would be Jesse, because he flies in out of state, or Jan, driving wise, because he drives the furthest, which is why he sometimes comes early too, to save on traffic. How come you haven't upgraded to a 4090 for your personal PC? Just because I don't need to. I don't even have a 4090, so I'm not gonna go buy a 4090, and I'm not gonna beg companies to try to give me a 4090. The most powerful graphics card I have on hand is a 4070 Ti or a 7800 XT, and I don't put those in my systems because I don't need to. I'm still on the, I guess I already passed a year on Intel Arc. Like, I feel like to better understand, like, like, especially with Intel, because they were new, like, I can't just benchmark it. To fully speak from experience, I have to have it in my system. Like, I keep my system running 24/7, by the way. I only ever restart, but it's always on. But I use it for all my video editing. I use it for doing these streams. We are using like the hardware encoder, the AV1 encode for these streams I've been doing. I use it for all my gaming. Like, I needed to give Intel dedicated graphics like a fair shot at using it full time. I think I've reached the point where, okay, I'm good. I can switch my graphics card out. I don't know what I'm going to put back into it. Previously, I had the 6700 XT. Previous to that, I had the RTX 2060. It's been a while since I've used NVIDIA in my main PC. I have quite a bit of cards to choose from. I have 4060, 4060 Ti, 4070, 4070 Super. So I could throw in an NVIDIA card. I don't know yet though. It's not like I need to put a more powerful graphics card in, so maybe I'll put the 4060 Ti. Either that or like the 4070. We'll see. Power World. We were supposed to play Power World at one of the LANs, but again, it's one of those games where, like Valheim, like Enshrouded, it's best to do a mini LAN, which we've done recently. So outside of the main LAN parties, we've had these quote-unquote mini LANs where it's remote. So it's not even a LAN, except for the people who do decide to go. So like, we had a Terraria mini LAN this past winter where a couple of people went to James's house, but then other people like me and Jan and a couple others remoted in. And the whole weekend was dedicated to Terraria. So those types of gaming sessions are better for these types of survival games that takes many hours. Yeah, no, Power World, I would love to do a 12-person server on Power World. But for a full-fledged LAN party like we're doing, it'd be pretty difficult. Because Power World, it's just the commitment, right? A lot of the time is spent gathering resources, catching pals, building a base. It's too hard to cut it to like short play sessions. How is the A770 in editing software? I can't speak to DaVinci Resolve, but for Premiere Pro, it works great. I render all my videos using the hardware encoder. But granted, I do have a i7 12700K, so because for the final encode, it's a mix of CPU and GPU. But like A770 for what I need it for, it's fine. For the last year and a half or however long I've been using the A770, everything has been done on it. Beat Saber. You know, it's so funny, Demon Mitt. Everything you're mentioning, I have mentioned to my LAN group. I asked about VR a couple of weeks ago to see who had a VR headset. I have a MetaQuest 2 in my possession right now that I'm borrowing from my brother-in-law, which is good enough for Beat Saber. But during our couch TV session that we usually do, I thought it would be fun to do VR stuff. So it turns out one of my buddies, James, has an Oculus, not an Oculus, a MetaQuest 3. I keep saying Oculus, but he has a MetaQuest 3, so I asked him if he could bring it. So if he does, we probably would do Beat Saber. But it's funny, all these games you've mentioned, like, it has come up in conversation. It's just, again, limited time for the limited games that we can play. So, yeah, each person rotating on songs, or even one person playing VR horror game and everyone else watching is also a fun time. Kind of like observation duty. But alright. So somehow we have gotten 2 hours and 40 minutes into stream, because it is very fun to just talk on and on and on about the LAN parties, and we've kept the concurrent viewers. Nice. So yeah, LAN party is this weekend, so just for the sake of me not staying up and pulling an all-nighter beforehand, There's no video coming out this weekend, but there's gonna be YouTube shorts from like packs and stuff still coming out, just like the one that was released today. But yeah, LAN Party, and then the video should hopefully come out in like 3 months in the Christmas time frame. Hopefully I can drop it before Christmas. And then someone had mentioned, I would love it if you did a game night stream with some people from the LAN. That would be fun. Also, if we could ever do some type of massive game where it was like the LAN crew versus the viewers, that would be fun, but we have to find the right game to try to coordinate that. Grand Theft Auto supports surprisingly a lot of players. We could probably do at least races in Grand Theft Auto in a big group versus people. But yeah, like those bigger games that are easily accessible, free, because, you know, if it's free, more people are willing to play it. I'm all ears to your suggestions. What is the Vigo? Last thing I'm looking up. Physics-based battle game. Oh, if we're doing VR, it's because of you have one headset for the most part. We're not doing multi-VR headset LANs. That would be kind of crazy. But yeah, this game looks pretty cool though. 25 bucks. I'm in the mode right now where even though I have a VR headset at my disposal, I'm really trying not to buy more games that I'm just going to mess around with for a short amount of time and then not play. So I'm going through and seeing what games I have that also support VR, or buying VR games that are cheap to play, because yeah, I don't want to drop like 30 bucks on a VR game to touch it, you know, for a week or two and then never play it again. So oh, one headset. Oh! But then everyone still has to buy it, though. Wait, what's Knight's Pass? Okay, I need to look this up. Because this game looks like it is... This game runs in both... It's free if you're not the VR guy. Oh, okay. So then it's only a commitment for one person. Plus, you know, you guys heard that Steam's changing their family share thing? So if anything, this could make it easier to like do these types of games where only one person has to buy the game and everyone else can play. Yeah, this would be kind of fun. Okay, good suggestions. Though again, our games list is so long right now, it's gonna be hard to fit half of the stuff that was recommended tonight. But for future LANs, this is good. Because we always like to add new games into the mix with the old ones. So this is like plenty of content. Plus it gives the games time to go on sale and stuff. So yeah. But alright, that's going to be the end of the stream. We went for way longer than I thought. I still got to run to the grocery store and pick up some stuff for the LAN. Yeah, next week's stream should be on as normal. You know, we only took a 1 week break last week because of something that came up. So next week I will report back with how the LAN went, with hopefully some snippets and maybe pictures and stuff like that. But I want to thank you guys as always for a good and fun stream. I talked my head off tonight. There was not even much of a moment where I wasn't talking. We looked through a bunch of stuff. You guys gave great suggestions for LAN. So I'm looking forward to trying out some of these games that you recommended. So everyone, have a good rest of your night. Have a good rest of the week, and have a good weekend coming up. And yeah, I will see you in the comments of any of the content that drops from here till next week. And I will see you in next week's stream. Take care. Bye-bye.